And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for being here tonight. You could be almost anywhere, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I'm not sure where to start. First of all, Trump pretty much launched into a comedy routine at the Al Smith dinner, an event where Kamala was supposed to be, but can you imagine her on stage trying to crack jokes? That would have been a bigger dumpster fire than the cringe video that she did put out, and we're going to watch that video a little bit later. Also, Brian Stelter, Alex Jones's mortal enemy, and to be totally honest, he might also be my mortal enemy. Brian Stelter is one of the worst quote-unquote journalists ever. We'll talk about him getting stomped into the finest of wines live on CNN a little bit later. Also, we got big tech censorship. We got James O'Keefe of O'Keefe Media Group, formerly Project Veritas, exposing Facebook engineers saying, hey, you're a conservative on Facebook, your content is being censored specifically. As if we did, like we already knew that. That's not really a revelation, but it's good to hear it straight from the proverbial horse's mouth. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And also, Trump visited a New York City barbershop and got all the love in the world. Kamala Harris could never. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on. There is a lot happening. I got quite a few videos. I got everything. And shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being in here. I really, really do. Man, oh man, the more I see from Kamala Harris, the more I'm just like, how did she even slip through the cracks? I mean, good grief. First, you were in California. I understand she had the sugar daddy or whatever, the mayor, Willie Brown. I understand that, but how does that one relationship propel you to be the attorney general and the senator and then the vice president? I mean, talk about luck of the draw. My. But it's lucky for her that she got those positions, but it's unlucky for us and her former constituents out in California. Miss, I prosecute transnational drug gangs, drug cartels. Meanwhile, we got the border wide open. Make that make sense. How are you going to hang your hat on prosecuting transnational organizations, crime organizations, but then the way that they make the chief part of their money, the border, you leave it wide open. You're talking out of both sides of your mouth. One side, you're saying, hey, we're going to be very hard on these guys that operate transnational. On the other hand, you say, we're going to allow them to operate more freely. It just doesn't make any sense at all. This is how ridiculous and silly a lot of the government is. You know, I saw Trump say something about dismantling the Department of Education on the federal level. People are like, oh, how could he do that? He's going to be a dictator. He's going to be the funny mustache guy. But I'm like, really? Listen, now here's my question. People really couldn't answer on, you know, I know how I be on social media platforms and different things. So I'm on this platform. I'm asking the question. There's a bunch of liberals on there. They want to call me all kind of names, but they're not really answering the question of if we have the Department of Education and we need them, then why are so many kids graduating who can't read? Or a better way to phrase the question, if so many of our kids graduate, not just attend and then drop out, you got kids graduating with a diploma, walking across, they got the cap and gown, the tassel, all that. They taking pictures, they're going to the prom, they're doing all that. They can do all that, but they can't read at the end of the day. If that's going on in a place like Baltimore, where you have, what they said, 29% of kids are testing at or above reading proficiency, the most basic skill you can have, in this country. How is that going on? But at the same time, you're telling me that the Department of Education is something that makes sense to have still. Okay, if we need them, then why do we have results like that? Then some are going to say, well, look, ABL, it's not about the federal government. It's about local people like parents, teachers, but parents first. Okay, you know what? That is a great point. It's about the parents, and after the parents, then the kids, and then the last rung of responsibility is the teachers. If the parents don't care about education, then the kids won't care, typically because there's nobody for accountability. There's no accountability partner. I could bring home straight F's to my mom and she's not going to look at my report card. Not my mom. If I had a F on my report card, it's going to be some furniture moving. Okay, I'm going to get knocked all upside my head for F on the report card. Not really, but yes, really. If the parents don't care, that's not there. You could bring home straight F's. You could not even attend school and nobody really cares. So in that environment, what can the teachers do? You may have dedicated, hardworking, really good teachers, but what are you to do with a child that comes to your classroom who doesn't care about learning, whose parents don't care about learning? What are you going to do? And again, some are going to say that's where the focus should be and not on the federal government. Great. Then why do we need the Department of Education then? What's their purpose if are we going to focus on a local? To give out money for what? How much does it cost to teach that 2 + 2 is 4? How much does that cost? Baltimore Public Schools got some of the most funding per pupil in the country, yet you have literacy rates that are rivaling like some of these, African countries, South America, where education is not so easy to access. Where you like, listen, you living in a third world country somewhere, Africa, and you want to like go to high school, you want to try to go to school, you got to pay some money. You could be living in complete poverty, complete squalor, you got to pay. We have that for free here, and the parents don't even want to use it, which will overall decrease the quality of the education because you're not going to have good teachers. They're not going to be there for the kids and the parents that don't care. But if the kids and the parents cared, you would have better overall teachers and better overall outcomes. You see? And it's, one thing I'm gonna say, because I got it on my mind. When I would be in Virginia and I would see all the things they have, all the resources as a kid, because y'all know, again, I'm born in West Virginia. I would spend a lot of time up there. So when I would come back from West Virginia, and then I would see how we have all these things in Virginia. You got libraries. It's just, you can walk to it. You got all kinds of resources there. I take advantage of the resources because I know that it's not so easy to have these things. You living in a rural place, it's not a lot there. You come into a city area, you got a lot there. And the people there don't take advantage of it. It's not really a big deal, whatever. I don't care. A library's there, so what? You're a nerd, you're corny if you do that. Then they'll complain about not having anything, no resources, no education. It's just so weird. Bottom line is this. We don't need the federal government all in our lives. We gotta make people understand that these things matter and to really push for it as an important thing. Education, hard working, dedication, skills. Anyway, I'm getting triggered, so I digress. All right. Yeah, you got to be literate. Shout out to you, Timothy. Timothy says, ABL, your parents and mine are the reason that we are not illiterate. Thank God for our parents. Life is not fair. Exactly. Man, it's crazy to see an adult that can't read. It's really sad. It's really, and again, if that's going on, we don't need no federal government in the way. We just got to get the states and the people, the parents under control. That'll be the main thing. But anyway, shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining. If you like what you heard, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a lot going on. We got some good videos. We got some new videos. We got some Kamala. Man, look, I could have an entire channel dedicated to how bad Kamala is. I mean, she is terrible. If Kamala was my county's chief dog catcher, I would lead the effort for a recall. Get her out of there. Look, I don't want to catch no dogs, no cats, no rats, no nothing. This woman should not be anywhere near politics. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But first, y'all know how I do. Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box, or just go to patriotpost.us and your browser, tell them that ABL sent you. Also go to ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also go to anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. I have videos, articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, we got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the local, national, international, whatever you want, I got it. As far as full video, sources, links, as long as it's legal, it will be on the website, anthonyblogan.com. And as I always say, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact us. There we got my email address, my email address, my social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, never going to call it X, Instagram, and TikTok, of course. Yes, I'm on TikTok. I am a grandfather age on TikTok. I might as well be Santa Claus on TikTok. I don't got the big belly. Put some pillows in my belly. I'm Santa Claus. I am ancient. I am Joe Biden's age on TikTok. That's how I feel. But I'm on there. So if you want to follow me on those platforms, do so through the website. Links always in the box. Or just go to anthonyblogan.com. And as I always say, if you're in the YouTube comments and you think that it's me talking at you, a couple of keys that can help you decipher that. First of all, I'm not going to be in the comments talking about send me some gift cards, send me some Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. I don't know nothing about that. You say, hey, ABL, do you know anything about this random coin that someone who was in the comments looked like you told me about? I don't know nothing. They're trying to sell you ABL coin. I don't have that. Don't get scammed. You're going to send $15 to some guy wearing a tank top in Lagos, Nigeria, okay? That is where your money is going. It's not going to me. Or it's going to be a guy smoking a crazy cigar, riding the back of a bear somewhere in Eastern Europe. That will be who you're giving your money to if you're in the comment section trying to communicate with somebody offering a shady deal. It's not me. I'm not going to do it to you. All right? So shout out to y'all. We got a lot going on. But first things first, a feel-good video. Hold on. Old man ABL, name a TikTok account. That's funny. All right. Yeah, I'm Grandpa ABL. I'm Pawpaw ABL on TikTok. Yeah, ain't no Uncle ABL. Look, the TikTok ABL has progressed beyond Uncle. I am Pawpaw on there. I feel so old because on there, I feel like the average age is like teenager. It's like, what am I doing? I feel like LeVar Burton or something, or reading Rainbow. But anyway, so look, somebody came up and saw a Trump flag on the front porch. All right, now what's going to happen here? And there we go. Shout out to her. So if you guys couldn't see it, she just unfurled it. It was kind of, twisted on top of on the pole here. So she just came by and ever so politely. Yeah. So Trump 24, recent. And then the person says, thanks, friend, with the heart emojis on it. See, shout out to her. Now, a lot of times what you see in some of the leftists, the more deranged people, they come up to a Trump flag, want to take it down, set it on fire, do all that. But young lady right here, and you know what? We're going to see a lot more of that coming up here as we get closer to the election. Well, the election this year. I mean, we already get early voting going on. Shout out to everybody that's going to early vote. Yeah, I'm going to do early voting. I was kind of on the fence. Well, I wasn't on the fence. I did not want to do early voting, but then I was like, you know what? I could do it early in person and it won't be any funny stuff going on. Paper ballots, ID. Let me go ahead and do it. All right. Now, speaking about voting, speaking about who should vote, who shouldn't vote, we got a Mexican-American legal immigrant destroying Democrats' narrative about the migrants. And this is a thing that I've mentioned quite a bit as well, because the words from Barack Obama, the famous words from Barack Obama, the fruit pickers and bet makers. Hold on. I have to show that, because I know I showed it quite a bit, but I got to show it some more. All right. I got to show it some more. And then that'll kind of lead into the next video here from the young lady.
We have to.
All right. And RIP in advance to the headphone users. And let me get this big screen down in the background, if possible. Yeah, there we go. All right. Shout out to the old school Obama.
To remember that this debate is about something bigger. It's about who we are as a country and who we want to be for future generations. Are we a nation that tolerates the hypocrisy of a system where workers who pick our fruit and make our beds never have a chance to get right be for future generations? Are we a nation that tolerates the hypocrisy of a system where workers who pick our fruit and make our beds never have a chance to get right with the law?
That's what he said. Fruit pickers and bed makers. Let's make them citizens, basically. So if you are an illegal alien, or you just, maybe you're a dreamer, whatever it is, you might have been a child and you were brought here by your parents when you were 2 years old, whatever the case. He says that all of y'all just pick fruit and make beds. That's just what it is. Nobody owns any companies. Nobody goes into IT. Nobody has any other job other than that. And if you are a migrant, you're Mexican. Like, no other country exists. No other part of the world exists other than Central America. Listen, according to Barack Obama, if you're a migrant, you're from Mexico, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Honduras, Salvador. That's your neck of the woods. No Chinese, no European, no African, no other South American, no Brazilian, straight Central American, grass cutting. That's what he thinks about you. All right. I didn't say it. He said it. And again, this is an old video. This is from, what's that, 2014? Yeah. So that same message, though, is still being said today. Who was that said, what was it? What was it? A question to Trump or to Vance or somebody saying, well, what are you going to do? Deport everyone that picks all the crops and builds all the houses? Remember that line? Let's watch this.
You want to know something that cringes?
RIP to the headphone users.
You want to know something that cringes me as a Mexican American myself? Is when I hear the left say, well, if we're going to deport all the illegal aliens, who's going to pick the strawberries? Who's going to build my house? Legal Americans. My own family, who is legal, a Mexican American family, if you want to give us some DEI points, can build your house. My grandpa does construction. There are a lot of American skilled people that can do the job. But the only reason why they don't want to do that and want to have illegal workers is because they can pay them for lower wages, which they will accept. And this is just wrong. I have a feeling that during the time when they were trying to ban slavery, you definitely had pro-slavery people being like, but who's going to do the jobs for free?
I'm going to let her cook. I'm going to let her finish.
Y'all are wild for supporting that.
Very much so. So shout out to her. Very well said. Very well said. I've been saying the same thing for a while. It's the same type of energy. It's the same thing with the whole, the migrant crisis right now. We're talking about the Springfield, Ohio kerfuffle and the Haitian migrants causing some issues. And then you got people like Trump and whatnot talking about, let's go ahead and get him out of here. So, but, and their question is, well, who's going to pick the fruit? Who's going to clean the chicken? Who's going to work it here? Because it's all about their labor. It's about nothing else other than their labor. It's not about trying to make them citizens and have them, bring forth anything of value to the country other than just a very cheap labor. That's it. That's all. That's all that it is. Yeah. So shout out to her. I don't know her name, but if you guys know, y'all let me know in the comments. Just because I want to give her some credit. That's all. I don't want to, Let's keep on moving. Anyway, we got a Japanese choir and MAGA hats performing God Bless America at a Pennsylvania festival. We believe that America is the last stronghold of freedom in the world. We also believe that Mr. Trump is the only president who can stop World War III. All right. I may not play the entire thing, but let's check out some of it.
We were not born here, but we believe that America is the last stronghold of freedom for the whole world. We also strongly believe that Mr. Trump is the only president who can stop the threat of World War III that the world is now facing. That is why we support President Donald Trump to be restored as a true leader of this nation.
Hey, shout out to my Japanese homies. Shout out to you guys. Land of the Rising Sun, all that good stuff. Tokyo, sushi, everybody. Shout out to y'all out there.
So let us all sing the last song together for the glory of God and His love for America.
Hey, shout out to my Japanese homies. Shout out to them. This is beautiful. This is great. We got real patriotism. Okay, American flags. You got more American flags in a room full of Japanese people than you have a lot of times in a room of Americans. Like strictly American, born and raised, you got more flags here than there, which is wild. I'm going to play the rest for you guys. Listen, you can't beat this kind of enthusiasm. You can't make that enthusiasm up. You can't do it. Trump, you're talking about a worldwide phenomenon. Worldwide. You got, what's the name of those? The Cartelos. You got those songs. You got people from all over the world really supporting this man, celebrating this man. What can you really do? You can't do nothing about that, man. Like, Kamala could never. You already know what it is. So, hey, shout out to you guys out there in Japan, from Japan, Japanese, half Japanese, full Japanese, whatever. Shout out to y'all. Okay, I really, really appreciate y'all. Okay, now, we got a bit of a turn here. Matter of fact, do I want to go right there? No, I ain't gonna go right there. I'm gonna go to this one, another good one before I get to the turn. We got a good endorsement for Trump, a great endorsement for Trump. Here we have Kane and The Undertaker endorsing Trump. All right, check it out.
All right, everyone, November 5th, election mania. Choice is yours. You can go with President Trump, Kane, and The Undertaker, or you can take Kamala Harris, Dave Bautista, and Tim Walz. Choose wisely. The nation depends on it.
And that should be an easy choice.
All right, everyone, November 5th, election mania. Choice is yours. You can go with President Trump, Kane, and The Undertaker, or you can take Kamala Harris, Dave Bautista, and Tim Walz. Choose wisely. The nation depends on it.
Now, shout out to Trump's team, the digital team behind the TikTok. They are brilliant. Oh my goodness. Not only just the TikTok, social media, but going to different platforms, going to the Flagrant podcast, Andrew Schultz. He's killing it. Shout out to Barron. I know Barron is telling his dad, hey, you got to go on this podcast, that podcast, talk to that guy. He's doing everything. And then we have Kane and Taker from WWFE, whatever you want to call it. Now, of course, Kane now is the mayor of Knox County here in Tennessee. I met him a couple of times. This guy's humongous. I think I showed a picture of me and him. I'm not a small person. I am 6'3". This guy, I look like a child next to this man. It was like my dad taking me to work with him one day. If I can find that picture, I'll put it up right quick. But yeah, really good people, really humble guy in person. Really just good people overall. So that's a great endorsement. We got Kane, we got Taker. I mean, and I found it. Listen, Kamala could never get anybody. Kamala can't even get, she couldn't get Miss Elizabeth or nobody. RP to her. She can't get, maybe she might get a Jade Cargill or something, but it don't hold the same kind of weight that an Undertaker and Kane have. All right, so this is me. Back in 2019, 2020, maybe right around then, 2020, 2019. So that's me, beardless ABL, babyface ABL, and Kane, Glenn Jacobs. I'm talking about big. Right here, I might have been 220 pounds, 6'3", and you can see how big he is compared to me. Hey, son, you want to go to work? You want to go to Politicon with me? Yeah, sure. Come on. That's how it looks. So, yeah, shout out to Kane, Glenn Jacobs, and shout out to Kane and Taker for endorsing Trump. All right. Yeah, I look different. It was just a beard, and I had no hat on. Plus, I was dressed different. I could pull off that same look right now, but the beard will kind of throw it off. All right. So, let's check it out. We got some Kamala voters. In a street interview. I think this is it Will Purvis, I think? Shout out to him.
Trump.
And RP to the headphone users. Yeah, Kane is humongous. Kane is like, they say he's 7 foot tall, but he's not quite, I don't know, he might be like 6'8", 6'9". He might be 7 foot tall. He was just so big, man. It's like if you ever thought about trying to fight somebody and then you like really get to see him and you look all the way up like that, it's like, never mind, you good, you got it. The last time I saw, I think, a 7 foot tall person, it might have been Kane, but it was also when I was at Old Country Buffet. We had these two transgenders that would come in there. These dudes had all kind of, it looked like Lil' Kim. They looked like leprechauns. They had plastic surgery. They were looking like Pamela Anderson, Dolly Parton. But these guys were a legit 7 foot tall. You know, at Old Country Buffet, you had the little covering that be over the food, like a little glass partition, and it didn't go all the way to the ceiling. It would kind of cut off at a certain point. They were above the glass partition that did not go all the way to the ceiling. I'm like, man, what is going on? It was a mess. But anyway, I digress. Street interviews.
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala Harris. She is a woman because she is a black woman, because she is smart, because she is educated, because she is tells the truth, and because she knows where she's going.
And Trump is a crook.
Why do you think Trump's a crook?
He doesn't tell the truth.
Does Kamala tell the truth?
Yeah, I think so.
You said she's smart and intelligent. What makes you think that?
The way she speaks. When she said, I'm speaking, she was not only respecting herself, but respecting all women. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. And then Trump did it back to her.
The woman wanted to talk about Palestine, but Kamala Harris was talking. She was in the middle of her speech, and the woman came running up and started screaming at her, and she said, excuse me, I'm speaking. Every woman in America is like, wow. she's speaking out for us. I'm a phone banker, and I phone bank for Kamala Harris every single day.
Oh, boy.
And when I get a Trumper by mistake, I mean, somebody too says, I'm not voting for her, it's horrible. And when I think of our country talking to each other, each of us talking to each other the way that Trump talks to people and talks about people.
Oh, man, come on, stop. Like, listen, the amount of hate I get for being a conservative and then being a black conservative on top of that, like, I'd had so many white people hit me with the hard ER in my DMs. Oh, yeah. Listen, we're going to come right back to Mama right there. We're going to come right back to Mama. But I'm going to show you a representation of what my DMs look like. And it's been like that for a long time. Okay, hold on. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, hold on. Yeah, I think this right here might be an accurate representation. Might be very, very accurate. All right, there we go. I got it. So look, that's pretty much what's going on. This picture right here is me on the internet. Okay, so you see, it's like a old school picture, of course, of like a sit-in black guy in a white establishment, whatever. But then, of course, somebody photoshopped a Trump hat on him, red hat, and then you got all the white guys looking at him like, "Oh, what are you doing in here, boy?" You know, that's what I get, and it's 90% white people, or it'd be a white person pretending to be black every single time. Like the Uncle Tom, they love that one. They love the Uncle Tom word. That's their favorite. Uncle Tom, N-word, or they'll give me like a little riddle to insult me because they think I don't understand it. They're trying to think I'm just dumb black guy. Hey, he not gonna understand this riddle. Let me just throw that at him. An obvious insult veiled within the riddle because I'm too much of a coward to do it directly, although I'm using the fake name and profile. But you know what? I never have anybody do anything to me in person. Never have any problems like that. And I don't want no problems. Okay, I'm Mr. Nice Guy. I don't want no problems. But I never have anybody do anything to me. The closest I got to having any kind of even the word said to me negatively was many years ago in the airport in New York. I have on the MAGA hat. This is like when Trump first ran. I have on the MAGA hat, and then it was this little troop, a troop, like a trio. Hold on. I don't know. It might have been some kind of dance troupe. Listen, it was young white people. They probably were like 26, 20, between, I would say 23 and 26. This was their age range. They were pretty thin in stature, maybe all about the same height, 5'5", 5'6", 5'8". One woman and two guys. Now, the woman was brave. She was the bold one. She was the feminist, right? Her protest against my MAGA hat was a stare down. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, do I have something on my face? Is she trying to, hey, is there a chance that she have the hots? I wasn't really interested. I'm like, what's going on? Then I realized, oh, it's a MAGA hat. Now, her troop mates, and by the way, they had on like all black outfits, kind of like form-fitting, not tight, but, you know, like the type person that'll wear a beret with a little bit of paint on it, like it's like they're at an easel or something painting. Anyway, they had on these black turtlenecks. So I don't know what it was. But her other members of the troop, the men, were in the background trying to avoid eye contact. They were like, but still in the background, letting her be the brave one and do the whole stare down protest. It was funny. It was funny. I could do nothing but laugh. I wasn't even offended. But they cowards in real life, but they try to do things behind the scenes to get you jammed up. They'll tell on you in a minute. They'll call the police on you, make up a lie. That's what they do. Just like you got one of these crazy white ladies, white liberal ladies, deleting their baby and then wanting to blame the black guy. That's what they do on you when you do a thing they don't like. And these are the liberal folks, by the way. Okay, the people, the bad people, not the good people. But I digress.
And the terrible things he says to humiliate women and to humiliate all of us. I don't want that.
Do you think you're voting based more on emotions and feelings versus facts?
I think I like the facts too. I think I like the fact that Kamala Harris was in the Senate And I like the fact that she is for things that she has had to compromise a little bit on, like she's absolutely anti-oil and gas. She's absolutely in favor of taking care of our climate. She's absolutely for abortion rights for women. She's absolutely for health care for all.
So all the things she's listed, I guess that she believes in these things. I wonder where she was in the 60s and 70s during civil rights and feminism. She probably was one of the chief people that was really, all for that back then. She got that kind of vibe to her, a Gloria Steinem type of energy going on here.
But she can't say those things because so much of the voting public will then say, I'm not voting for her. So she's really got to be very careful how much she tells about what her policies will be. Then people say, oh, she doesn't have any policies. Oh, yes, she does.
So do you think her policies are just too scary for the average American? That's why she doesn't say them?
I think that's true. So many people...
Well, maybe not about being scary. People don't want them. They don't want the policies. So imagine saying that the policies are not popular, so you can't say them. And that's the reason why she doesn't say them. Listen, it doesn't matter if what you say is popular or not. If you want to become the president, I want to know your policies, because if you get into the Oval Office, but she's not going to win. She's going to get, it's going to be really bad come election time. But hypothetically speaking, if she was to get in there and you don't know her policies, and all of a sudden, all these things start happening, but she was going to do that from the beginning, you probably want to know that, right? You want a little bit of a preview of how this country will run if she was to get in office. I mean, you got a preview right now because she's in office right now. That's the funniest thing in the world. They try to disassociate her from being in office now, as if when she comes in, it's going to be a brand new administration. It's going to be the exact same people behind the scenes running the show. She probably get her briefing from the same people. They're going to tell her to do the same things. Okay. Can you imagine a Kamala presidency? You're talking about somebody that at best would just go speak at picnics and barbecues. Like, that's not a real leader. Okay. That is not a real leader. Now, speaking about Kamala, remember the white dudes for Harris? Well, we have yet another white dude for Harris, a brand new sign up, a brand new initiate into the white dudes for Harris gang. You ready? Check it out. And again, RIP to the headphone users.
Hey, how are y'all doing? All right. My name is Maxine Kirkpatrick. I am a born and bred Michigander, a fellow on the Michigan One campaign, and president of Students for Harris Walls at Wayne State University. Hey,
hey man, I don't have to say much. I could just introduce people and say, hey, this is somebody that is part of Kamala's team. You can kind of see the pattern. Okay. You see the pattern. Now, I don't know what we got going on. Is that a polo shirt or a blouse? I feel like it's an inverted version of what I got on right now. Like, it's like an androgynous version of what I got on right now. The same kind of color scheme and everything. I don't know what's going on with this white dude for Harris, but I'm a little bit intimidated. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, we got a protester getting triggered at the Israeli flag, but it was not the Israeli flag. Okay, this was funny. So the caption, the time I mistakenly thought the Greek, the flag for the Greek, or the Greek flag was for Israel, and took down the restaurant's flags.
Do that shit. And I'm about to come back and put a Free Palestine too. The Free Palestine. Look, what you looking at? You know damn well there's a genocide. You know there's a genocide. Now stop it. I'm taking this shit down. I believe this one. Take this one down right here. What are they gonna do? They can't do nothing. I don't stand for it. I don't stand for it.
Why got light bulbs on the ground? Like, what's going on here? You taking down the flags, the lights, everything. This is just straight up vandalism.
I don't stand for this. There's genocide, and I don't stand for Zionism. And Montclair, I don't support it.
I want to see the storefront sign. If it says something like, Tzatziki's or Euros, hot Euros. If it says that, I'd be like, man, you couldn't put two and two together. Hey, please educate your children. Educate your children. Lesson number 1, don't vandalize. Lesson number 2, maybe flags of the world, perhaps, of at least some of the bigger countries like a Greece.
There's a genocide. You know that, right? They're killing children. What's the purpose? Be proud of your heritage. Y'all understand there's a genocide, right?
Hold on. Matter of fact, I see the store sign. It says Euro right there. Wait a minute. Look at it. It says it right there on the front. It says Euro right here. Come on, man. Like, we got to just put 2 and 2 together. This is a Greek restaurant. Okay. Do you want a falafel? Do you want some pita bread, some hummus, Mediterranean salad? What are we doing? Okay. The stupidity of people in this country has risen to immeasurable levels. Immeasurable. All right. Listen, all I'm going to do when I go there is get me a nice, hot, fresh gyro. I want all the accoutrements, all the garnishes. I want everything. That baklava, yes. Oh my goodness. They got the baklava cheesecake at Tzatziki's. If I can get a Greek grandma or auntie or something to make me like a fresh baklava in my house, whatever you want, I pay. It don't matter. It don't matter. Just name your price. I'm going to pay. But yeah, don't vandalize people. And if you're going to do something like that, don't be a moron. At least know what you're doing. And even if it was the Israeli flag, what do you think you're going to accomplish by doing that? And really, if you got an issue with what a government is doing in war, your issues with the government, not the people with a restaurant. You see what I'm saying? That's not really what's going on. Now, speaking about international relations, who did this edit? I don't know what's going on with y'all, but you guys have some really creative minds. All right. Here's Kamala. What's this on? Stephen Colbert. Remember this? Now, y'all put Kamala with the Rasta man wig. That's hilarious.
Have you no empathy, man? Yes. For the suffering of other people. Have you no sense of purpose? Have you no empathy, man? Yes. For the suffering of other people. Have you no sense of purpose?
Yeah, Kamala. Look, man, if we're going to have memes like this already, that's really embarrassing for a president. You know, what they're going to do, like, imagine you have these press conferences and she coming out here using all these different crazy accents. Or they go put different hats on her every time. They go put a sombrero on her. They're going to put a turban. They're going to put the Rasta man dread cap. They're going to do all of that. They're going to put you in the Papa the Sailor Man outfit. They're going to do all of that to you, man. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a meme fest. It's going to be a meme fest. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, look, check it out. Van Jones, can I talk to you for just one moment, please? You got to stop crying on TV, man. You got to stop being emotional. You got to stop being soft. I absolutely hate it. Look, I'm not saying that men can't express themselves, but all that crying and being emotional, that's not what we do. Not on TV. Not on TV. No, that's just not it, man. Especially not for a political figure, and especially not for Kamala Harris. All right, let's check this out here. Van Jones. All right. And this video's on his Instagram. It's captioned, "Thank you, Kamala." All right, let's see if I can roll it here.
Kamala Harris sent us a love letter. That to you, that might have been a policy document. I read that as a love letter.
So I guess what he's talking about is the plan for black men, which was not for black men, really. The plan that she put out was marketed as a plan for black men, but really what it was just her policy ideas kind of highlighted and curated into a list that they thought would appeal to us. As in, you guys like to sell drugs, so we're going to legalize weed for the whole country. That'll help you guys out. You black guys sell weed, right? So that'll help you guys. Cryptocurrency, you want to launder your drug money and your gun money, black men, all right, we got crypto regulation that might help you, although it's not. We're going to jam you up and get you. It won't help you. All it's going to do is get you jammed up and put in the penitentiary. So we're going to get you jammed up with the crypto, let you sell some weed, maybe perhaps if you could get beyond maybe big pharma and big tobacco collaborating on that, because you're going to have medicinal weed. So the growing aspect of it, here comes big tobacco. The medicine part, here comes big pharma. They form together, and that means you're not going to have a real foothold into it. So these policies are things that they think will appeal to us from her existing plan.
From Kamala Harris to black men who need some love, black men who need some respect, black men who need some concern and some care and consideration. You know, we need some mamala from Kamala, and we got that. We stood on business. We said we wanted to hear something. Everybody else is getting something. What are we going to get?
Nothing.
And she came with a love letter of support for our work, our wealth, and our health.
All right, Van Jones, okie dokie. So what do you guys think? Do we need mamala? Is that what we need? Black men, we need mamala? What type of, I don't know, man. That dude, I don't really understand him, man. I don't get it. I don't understand this, man. What are you talking about? Anyway, shout out to Van Jones. And also, speaking to CNN, shout out to Michael Singleton, who went on CNN and destroyed Brian Stelter. I said that I kind of misspoke a little bit in my video. I think I called Stelter Alex Jones, because every time I see Brian Stelter or I hear his voice, all I think about is Alex Jones. I watch the little takedown every now and again just because it is the funniest thing I've seen. Hold on. I want to play a little bit of that, please. Just a little teeny bit of that. Because this was one of my favorite videos ever of Brian Stelter, or about Brian Stelter.
I will resist them every way I can. These people are the literal demon spawn of the pit of hell. Look at him. And you know what? He is better than you if you keep letting him run your life. He runs your kids. He runs the schools. He runs the banks. This guy, this spirit, this smiling, leering devil that thinks you can't see what he is your enemy. Period. All the narcissistic, devil-worshipping filth. I see you, enemy. I see you, enemy. 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 You are my enemy.
I ain't gonna play the whole thing, but Alex Jones does not like Brian Stelter. This from a few years ago. But all I could think about is him when I keep calling him Alex, when Brian Stelter is brought up. Also, Mark Dice. That voice. Hey, Mark Dice, if you're listening to me right now, I almost said Alex Jones again, your Brian Stelter impersonation is the best. Mark Dice, your Brian Stelter impersonation is the best. Point blank, period. Shout out Mark Dice. And no shout out to Brian Stelter. Anyway, Shermichael, let's get to it.
My point is that a lot of people look at how much money we've spent on this conflict, and they're asking themselves, my roads are crumbling, my schools suck, we just had major disasters across the country, FEMA doesn't have enough money allocated.
By the way, I don't live in that country.
For a lot of
I
people.
don't live in that country, by the way. America's not that horrible.
Brian, if you get out of New York and talk to regular people.
I don't live in New York.
No,
I live in a normal city, in a normal town. My roads are not, I love New York, but my roads are not crumbling. My schools don't suck. I just get tired of the anti-America
Maybe you're fortunate enough to put your kids in darn good schools, but there are a lot. No, let me finish here.
Public schools
there are
in
a lot
normal
of people
town.
in this country
I just think all
who
the
aren't wealthy,
anti-America
who
stuff
don't
is
live
so
in great cities,
tiring.
who do have to send their kids to terrible schools. That is a fact because of their zip codes.
True,
and to sit
the
here
Obama
arrogantly
years,
and say,
true,
well,
the
my
Trump
kids
years,
go to
true,
great
the Biden
schools.
years.
I live in a great neighborhood. That's your experience.
The
not
roads
the
are
experience of most
crumbling.
people in this country.
I mean,
come on, bro.
I mean,
Now, this was a prime example of just how out of touch Some of these guys are. And a couple of things. Yes, that's Bomani Jones right there. Bomani Jones, before we get to Alex Jones, before we get to Stelter, Bomani Jones, I love him and hate him at the same time, and I'm going to tell you why. Bomani Jones made a documentary about my hometown, Rand University in West Virginia. He made the documentary. Now, they didn't include Jason Williams in the documentary, which it should have, because Jason Williams is not from Rand, but he's from DuPont City. It's right there. It's right. They went to the same high school. It's a small little high school, DuPont. It's inconsequential to say that he's from DuPont City when you're talking about a town you could walk to that has like 500 people and Rand has 1,000 people. You didn't include Jason Williams because he's white, in my opinion. I didn't like that. I did not like that at all, because you should have showed both of them, really, because Jason Williams is as much Rand and Charleston and West Virginia as Randy is, and they grew up together and played on the same high school basketball team. But anyway, that was on my chest. I wanted to get it off. So I've not liked him since then for that revelation. I didn't like that. Anyway, now back to Stelter. He's out of touch. Look, just because you live in a nice neighborhood does not mean that's what the average man is going through. Listen, this is like how Los Angeles is, right? If you're on the ground floor in Los Angeles, it's ghetto. Ghetto, crowded, Mexico, it's ghetto. Now, if you up in the hills and the nice neighborhoods, it's beautiful. Same thing in New York City. If you got money and you live in Manhattan, life is golden. Life is golden. However, if you're living in Queensbridge, the projects, and they just brought in 3,000 migrants in one night, and you already had like 8,000 residents there, you brought in 3,000 migrants to one housing project in one night, what are they going through? But see, Brian Stelter doesn't really care about them, because his point of view is all about him. It's self-centered. I don't see the crime. I don't see the violence. My streets aren't crumbling. My neighborhood's not bad. My kids are having a good education. You're Brian Stelter. Okay, you probably make plenty of money. I would think at this point, if you don't make M's, Brian, then I don't know what's going on. Like, they got dirt on you at CNN. I'm sure Stelter makes plenty of money. He's not really going to be affected by the everyday goings on of politics for the most part. It's the average people. It's we, the people, who are affected. This is why a guy like Trump is so popular, is because he hears the cries of the common man. They don't. They pretty much ignore us. Springfield, Ohio is a prime example. Trump is hoping to get the word out about what the people are going through. Now, what are the mainstream media doing? Trying to quiet it, trying to silence it, shove it under the rug, pretend it doesn't exist. That's what they do. You see, that's a big difference. All right. Oh yeah. Somebody say you better get an ABL hat, shave it all. Hey man, I don't understand these little side pieces of hair with the roof missing. Yeah, I don't really understand that. It's like, go ahead and just cut it. Go ahead and just cut it, man. Or do like a Jamie Raskin and get hair implants. Do like Jamie Raskin and get hair implants and lie and say you have cancer. He had cancer, but that wasn't the reason for the head wrap. Okay. He just conveniently got cancer and then was able to use that as an excuse to have the bandana to cover his hair plugs. All right. But let me go back to this. I didn't even finish it.
Normal
Brian,
town.
with all due,
my roads are not. I love New York, but my roads are not crumbling. My schools don't suck. I just get tired of the anti-America.
Maybe you're fortunate enough to put your kids in darn good schools, but there are a lot. No, let me finish
public
here.
schools
There are
in
a
a
lot of
normal
people
town.
in this country
I just think all
who
the
aren't wealthy,
anti-America
who
stuff
don't
is
live
so
in great
tiring.
cities, who do have to send their kids to terrible schools. That is a fact because of their zip codes.
True,
and to sit here
Obama
arrogantly and
years,
say, well,
the
my
Trump
kids
years,
go to
true,
great
the Biden
schools.
years.
I live in a great neighborhood. That's your experience.
The
not
roads
the
are
experience of
crumbling.
most people in this country.
I mean,
come on, bro. My point.
But yeah, shout out to Rocco Singleton. That was very well done. And did I have the other clip here? Hold on. Oh, this was funny. This is really funny because here goes the bias, the obvious bias from Stelter. And again, this is what we all say. The first clip proved that they're out of touch. They don't know anything. Now, this one's going to talk about how they're biased. Out of touch and biased. It's a bad combination.
Doing journalism that he does not like.
But we look at it and
didn't Obama spy on a journalist?
But Ryan, Ryan, it's in all caps and
Didn't
it seems
Obama spy
funny,
on a
it seems
journalist?
wild, so people sometimes dismiss it, even though it's very serious.
But Brian, didn't Obama spy
No
on a
administration is perfect. But
Now look, they go to Smile like Pennywise from It, the movie. Now he got him right here. My man over here got him because the conversation was about Trump potentially silencing journalists or punishing them, I guess, legally. Maybe they think that Trump can be immune from any kind of prosecution, so he could just go out there like Jack the Ripper and just start deleting journalists. I don't know what they come up with in their mind. I've seen some of the craziest conspiracies from these people that I've ever heard in my life about what Trump could do. Trump derangement syndrome is real, okay? There should be a hotline for you to call if your cousin or pawpaw has Trump derangement syndrome, because I would call it on some of these people. But anyway, the context was maybe Trump might punish journalists. My man right here says, hey, didn't Obama actually spy on the journalists? And what is Stelter's response? Oh, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Stelter, really? Is that what we're going to say with this smile? Come on, man. This is ridiculous, man. This is why people don't watch you guys anymore. They hate you guys. That's why Jim Acosta got to CNN sucks back in the day. And that's why you still, sir, are not really respected by a lot of people, because you do stuff like that, man. Obviously biased stuff. I mean, that was crazy, man. It's like, come on. You can't just sit there and say it's okay for a guy to do something, but the other guy is somehow wrong for a suspicion of trying to do something. It's the craziest thing in the world. Okay. One guy robs a bank, bareface, pistol, all of that, takes some money, you let him go. The other guy, there was a rumor that he might want to do it, and you go bust his door down and send him to the pension. Maybe I was Little Rocks. That's kind of what happened right there. Anyway, now here's Kamala giving the exact same speech in two different places. The exact same speech. All right, let's watch this.
Should never again
have the
stand behind the seal of the President of the United States. Never again. Never again. Should never.
I mean, look, if you wanted to give her some acting classes, you should have done so maybe like prior to the 2020 election cycle when she ran the first time. That would have been a great time to get those lessons in. And she should have been practicing ever since then. I'm talking about, hey, get some of these celebrity people. You know, Michelle Obama and them, they got actor connections. They have some Hollywood people. Get you trained on how to speak and how to deliver a speech, so you won't be looking so crazy when it comes time for the 2024 election. Look, if she couldn't become the president, I would almost kind of feel sorry for her. If she couldn't become the president. But nah, you're in this role. Hey man, you sign up for the scrutiny, the criticism, all that good stuff. It is what it is. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, we have more here. Don Lemon is on CNN talking.
Yes.
You know what's funny? I've seen him on CNN quite a bit. He might go back to CNN as like a contributor or something like that and take a lot less money because the whole X thing didn't work out. So here he is talking about black voters voting Trump.
Talking to a lot of voters. And I will just say that you texted me right around the Democratic convention and you said, I am talking to people and Kamala Harris has a problem with black men.
Yeah. And I told the campaign I did not hear from them. I mean, who am I for them to get back to me? But there's a problem. And look, I went from battleground state to battleground state. When they invited me to the convention, I didn't just want to fly there. I said, I'm going to go and talk to voters in battleground states. And I did. It was not curated. I went up to people just doing man on the street. I said, who are you going to vote for? Black men. And time after time after time, they said, I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Why?
Now, there are reasons why. They said, because most of the time they said, well, you know, for economic reasons. right? Or because he gave me a stimulus check. And I had to correct them over and over and tell them where that stimulus check came from a Democratic Congress and from Nancy Pelosi. And that Donald Trump actually held the check up so that his name could be put on the check. So they think they got the check directly from him. Meanwhile, Joe Biden has given 1 or 2 stimulus checks as well, but they seem not to know and understand that. You can vote for whoever you want to vote for, but the reasons that you're going to vote for them, I think that they should be accurate and factual, and you should know why you're supporting someone.
Okay, now, the main reason you're talking about, like, black men, right? If it's about economics, it's about we had more money in our pocket. Our money went a longer way. The inflation wasn't bad under Trump. Now, under Biden, we got heavy inflation. We have the migrants all over the place. We got natural disasters that we got to kind of fight and struggle to get $700. But the migrants got all kind of $5, $10, $15, $20 bands, $1,000, $20,000 sometimes they got on the card they can use. While Americans have their whole life washed away in a natural disaster, and when we call FEMA to get $700, we get denied. So we're talking about that. It ain't really about the stimulus check, because what they do, guys like Don Lemon, they'll seize on the whole stimulus check thing and try to point out the specific and the technicalities. That's not, that one check isn't the issue. The issue is the overall economic environment was better under Trump. That's the point that we all make. And we know about the stimulus. We know, Don, you're not really correcting nobody. At the end of the day, we just don't like what we're seeing from her. We don't like it. All right. Now, here's an MSNBC, I guess it's a focus group. And the question is, who's voting for Kamala Harris here? All right, let's go ahead and let it roll. And RIP to the headphone users.
Who's voting for Kamala Harris here? Absolutely no.
No. Not possible.
There's nothing she can do or say for us to change our mind.
Who's voting for Kamala Harris here?
So I think these are Hispanic people, probably. Shout out to the Latinos, Hispanics, everybody. All right, but yeah, nobody. This MSNBC. Regular normies, regular people. Nobody's excited about Kamala. It's just not. Unless you like Gloria Steinem's twin sister in 2024 and you just love all that ridiculous nonsense woke stuff, maybe you'd be excited for Kamala. But the average normie out there in the street, we're just not really having it. We're not having it. All right. Now, I've not seen this, but I want to check it out with you guys live. It looked pretty good, though. So let's check it out. This is what was that, Aaron Burnett? I forget who that is.
You don't want her to win the White House, but do you agree with how she performed in that interview?
I believe that interview was a masterclass in why there is a statistically significant amount of black men who are tired of listening to the media and done entertaining the Democratic Party. You listen to Kamala Harris talk about a plan for black America. They've rolled out a plan for black America. My grandfather told me a very long time ago, never trust a man who promises to do tomorrow what they had the power to do yesterday. If Kamala Harris was so committed... Whoa. Hey, my man, you cooking a little bit too much too soon. Let's go back and hear that last one, because that was a gem. I'm going to write that down. I might get it tattooed right on my forehead so everybody know what time it is, right? Talk about a plan for black America. They've rolled out a plan for black America. My grandfather told me a very long time ago, never trust a man who promises to do tomorrow what they had the power to do yesterday. If Kamala Harris was so committed to these plans for black men in particular, she's had many instances where she could have done these things as a senator, as an attorney general, and certainly in her capacity as a vice president. So I do believe that when you have that type of interview, talking about a multi-trillion-dollar plan for reparations, all while we ignore the fact that California has already studied reparations, only for the Democrats that said they were committed to passing it to saying everyone actually going to write the check. Black men are tired of what appears to be empty promises coming from a Democratic Party.
I mean, Joe, if you're honest with yourself, I'm sure there's some times where you would appreciate if your candidate would be more quote unquote scripted.
Look, I think there's a few things happening here, right? I've said it many times on this network. Vice President Kamala Harris. She wants to have her Kate and Edith too. She wants to have all the good things that come from the Biden administration. She wants to leave all the baggage of the Biden administration behind her. I think if you're just looking at the core issues pertaining to the black community, the civil rights issue of our time is education. Democrats have nominated a woman who is against school choice. They have a vice presidential candidate who is against school choice. And you have the gatekeeper for a large voter bloc that didn't ask any real questions about the civil rights issue of our time. To say that we have schools where 80% of black children cannot read at proficient levels all across this country. And so it is a scourge that is preventing black men from getting the tools they need in their young life to move forward. And I think if there are a lot of black people who are saying Democrats have told us that Donald Trump is terrible, but I'm not going to allow my vote to be taken hostage by a party that continues to not deliver results every time I place my trust in their hands.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. And yes, this is Joe Pinion, Joepinion, right? Joe Pinion. Shout out to him.
He did have a record low for black unemployment.
I would just simply say that to that point, right? I think we have to dispense with some of the talking points here. Certainly, there is a fair way to interpret it and to interpret facts, irrespective of whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. The fact remains, pre-COVID, we had 7 million new jobs created. We had record low unemployment for black Americans. And I think even if you move beyond, all the conjecture, when you look at what black men are really moved by, they're moved by the fact that the Democratic Party is not actually treating them fairly. That you had the only black Republican man in the Senate who ran for president being called the equivalent of a slave that Harriet Tubman should have left behind. And no one lost their job and not a single person was fired. And so I appreciate that Sherwin says that it's good to live in America where black men can voice their opinion independent of somebody telling them how to do so. But it is quite clear that from many people on the cable news that they have been given license to talk crazy and out of their neck about black men who are not interested in voting for Kamala Harris. And I think, unfortunately, for not just the Democratic Party, but America, those chickens might come home to roost on November 5th.
All right, Joe, you...
Hey, man. Joe Pinion. Again, Joepinion, Joe Pinion. Wow, that was amazing. Shout out to him. Now, I saw a comment who says the reading statistic is not really true. Well, what statistic is quoted that's false? And is that about the high school reading statistics? What is it about, really? All I know is a lot of kids are graduating high school and can't read. It's crazy. Even like, I've been to Starbucks before, not anytime recently. I'm not really into drinking the caffeinated sugar too much anymore. I'm back on the super monk status at this point. But when I would go there on a rare occasion, just being a free bird, hey, my name's Anthony. Put my name on the thing, Anthony. And I promise, without fail, they usually spell my name wrong. Anthony or Atony, Atony. You talk about college students, college graduates can't even spell the word Anthony. White kids, suburb kids can't read. Black kids, no literacy, functionally illiterate. Not all, but too many. And if we got a problem with reading in this country, I shut up for the future. What are we going to do in the future? Again, we're getting closer to idiocracy every single day. We're getting closer and closer. Now, let's go to Trump. They're trying to say Trump's exhausted and he's canceling stuff, all this, that, and the third. That's just a way for them to try and make him appear to be weak. So they play tricks and they kind of manipulate your mind. Oh, he's tired. He's weak. Don't vote for him. Vote for Kamala. She's more lively and energetic, which she's not at all. But let's hear from Trump about that. Let's see what he says about the whole thing about him slowing down and not having any kind of energy. Check it out.
Kamala Harris said she thinks you're exhausted.
RP to the headphone users. I know the sound is kind of hard to hear, but if you can't hear it, I'll, repeat what he said.
That's why you're canceling events. Are you exhausted?
What event did I cancel? I haven't canceled. She doesn't go to any events. She's a loser. She doesn't go to any events. She didn't even show up for the Catholics last night at the hotel. It was insulting. All they are is sound bites. So today I was at Fox and Friends at 7 in the morning. I then went to 2 different other appearances. I then made about 15 phone calls. I've gone 48 days now without arrest, and I've got that loser who doesn't have the energy of a rabbit. Let me tell you something. She should have been last night with the Catholics. So all they do is put out sound bites. Tell me when you've seen me take even a little bit of a risk. Not only am I'm not even tired. I'm really exhilarated. You know why? We're killing her in the polls because the American people don't want her. She didn't pass her bar exam. She's not a smart person. She's not a person that should represent our country. So I just want to let you know that very clearly. Go ahead.
So yeah, shout out to my main man Trump. Shout out to him. Yeah, they're trying to say he's tired, all this, that, and the third. Man, please. He's doing a lot more events, traveling, speaking than Kamala. It was a whole big production to get Kamala to even have an interview. And she had to bring Tampon Tim with her, an emotional support Tim. She had to bring him with her, and it was taped. And they were there for hours to get out 18 minutes of an interview. Listen, her motorcade, whatever, parked in downtown Atlanta right by CNN studios for 6 hours. And the result was just 18 minutes of her speaking during that interview. It was a mess. And then you got, 60 Minutes, CBS, changing answers. She is asked a question. She gives an answer. It gets released. We see it. We're sharing it online. We see the answer to the question in the question. The Monday after, like the next day, they changed the actual answer and put that version out on the internet too. We have both answers on the internet, both wrong answers. And it's like, well, you can't just do stuff like that. That's what they do on their side. And then they try to play games when you're talking about, oh, he's exhausted, don't vote for him. Now, let's go to that dinner he was speaking about. The dinner, I'm not going to show the whole thing. What I'm going to do with the dinner, I'm going to show a couple of clips that I think are important from the dinner. And then we're going to show Kamala. We're going to show that full thing, or at least some of it. All right, check out some of the jokes here from Trump. Some of the top 5 jokes.
I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz. Well, I'd better wrap up because Mayor Adams told me earlier that I needed to make this one very quick, especially the city has reserved this room for a large group of illegal aliens coming in from Texas. There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris. Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me.
And you see Chuck Schumer on the right-hand corner here trying to keep from laughing, trying to keep everything internal.
A major issue in this race is child care, and Kamala has put forward a concept of a plan. A lot of people don't like it. The only piece of advice I would have for her in the event that she wins would be not to let her husband, Doug, anywhere near the nannies. Just keep him away. That's a nasty one. Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president.
There you go. There you go. Put him in the wig, put him in the dress. Hey, man, come on. Go to laugh, Chuck. It's all right. Yeah, put him in the wig, put him in the dress. He'd be the first female president. Okay, so yeah, shout out to him. Now, speaking about Chuck, here is Trump and Chuck just having a little chat. Because let's not forget, they know each other, and they know him. He's known him, and vice versa for years. They've been around each other for years. He used to go to all their houses, go to the events, and they would talk like that. But of course, when you get to Washington, D.C., mainstream media, you got to behave as if you hate this guy because he's on the other side. It's all a game. It's all an act. If he's such a threat to humanity and worse than the funny mustache guy, all that kind of stuff, if he's that bad, then why be able to speak like this? Like, what's really going on? All right, so yeah, shout out to Trump. and Chucky Boy. Now, we got to watch the Kamala video. Remember, this is a dinner that both candidates are invited to, Kamala and Trump. Trump shows up, Kamala doesn't. What she did instead was send the video for them to play during the dinner, which was really cringe. And since it's cringe, we got to watch it. How about that? Let's do it.
Eminence and distinguished guests.
Let me start from the top.
Your Eminence and distinguished guests, the Al Smith dinner provides a rare opportunity to set aside partisanship.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Catherine Gallagher. Mary Catherine Gallagher. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that I'm Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Sometimes when I get nervous, I stick my fingers under my arms and I smell them like that. But that's...
Armpit smelling. I didn't have that on my bingo card. I did not have that on my bingo card. Okay, political ad 2024. Armpit smelling. That wasn't there. Was it there for you guys? I'm not really sure.
It's gross.
So tell me something. I'm giving a speech. Do you have some thoughts about what I might say tonight?
My feelings about what you should say tonight would be best expressed in a monologue from one of my favorite made-for-TV series.
Okay, let's hear it.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more compassion. And think how smart she must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men. It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
What series was that from?
Oh, that's from House of Dragons, now streaming on HBO Max.
Is there anything that you think that maybe I shouldn't bring up tonight?
Well, don't lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor.
Indeed, especially thy neighbor's election results.
Just so you know, there will be a fact checker there tonight.
So look, okay, is it a speech for the dinner or is it some kind of skit, a cringe skit? And who is this lady? Do y'all know who that is? Should I know her? I mean, whoever it is obviously an actress, and they're able to speak better than Kamala. Hey, have her run for president. Whoever that lady is, make her for president. Now, y'all probably would say like an obvious name. I just don't know everything. And when you say it, if it's a celebrity, I probably would know it right away. All right. Molly Shannon, is that her name? Okay. Yeah, I know that name, but I don't really recognize her.
Jesus. And maybe don't say anything negative about Catholics.
I would never do that, no matter where I was. That would be like criticizing Detroit in Detroit.
Does it bother you that Trump guy insults you all the time? Because it really bothers my friends and me.
Oh, Mary Catherine, it's very important to always remember you should never let anyone tell you who you are. You tell them who you are.
Haters gonna hate, hate, hate. Shake it off.
Shake it.
You know this reminds me of? It reminds me of when a celebrity goes on SNL and you could tell there's a gap in the acting skills. You know, they're trying to do improv and trying to read lines and whatnot, but they're not actors and actresses, so it's just off. But look, this is not what I should be talking about when it comes to a president. This kind of ridiculous nonsense right here. All right, so that's quite a bit of that. That's quite enough of that. I'm through with that. But yeah, Molly Shannon, really, that's what we're going to do. Now, we got a commercial, a Kamala commercial, and these are people that own a business. I guess it's supposed to be trying to get some of the black support, right? Let's see what this is all about. I've not watched this.
We're the owners of Legendary Records and Coffee House. I'm very excited to have Madam Vice President here in the shop. Vice President Harris, what she said when she was having a conversation to local business owners, she stated something that hit close to home. She stated that a lot of small business entrepreneurs, they don't have the capital to have the proper accountants, proper legal representation to do a business properly. Those are things that I think that people miss, and it sets them up for failure. So I think that the tax credit that she's proposing will be excellent for small business entrepreneurs. We're the owners.
I mean, the thing about that's so silly, man. I've been self-employed 20 years, man. I'm an entrepreneur naturally. I knew, like, right around the time that college was ending and I was trying to get jobs in like an office environment, I knew it wasn't going to work out. I knew automatically my kind of personality and just my voice and how I am too big. It just wouldn't make no sense, man. Like, it wasn't even nobody there. It wasn't anybody in the office that I would go in that looked like me physically, whether it be black, white, or whatever. And then just the way I talk and all of that, it'd be too much. I talk just like this in real life. This is how I talk. It's loud, although I'm not trying to be loud. Anyway, I knew it wasn't going to work out, so I knew I had to just do my own thing. And I didn't need 20 bands or nothing like that to start a business. It all depends on what you're doing. And if you need capital, startup capital, you're probably going to need continuous access to the capital, like a line of credit, not necessarily a loan that you got to pay back or that you may or may not have to pay back. You see what I'm saying? You're going to need credit more than anything else. You should just build your business, build it, you know, just like with the YouTube channel, for an example. With the YouTube channel, I was still doing my graphic design thing and I was doing YouTube videos here and there. I had no idea I could make money on it until kind of later on. But I'm putting out content, putting out videos. I start gaining subscribers. I just kind of build. And then I become monetized and I make my first $100. I put it right back into my business. I get a webcam. I invest in a better computer. I just do that. Keep building and building and building and building. Okay, it's a process over time. And throughout the time, I've been able to get access to credit and access to these things you're going to need to just kind of scale yourself. But to say you're going to need $20,000 on a loan up front and that's it, or I don't know, it's not always so cut and dry for everybody. So I don't like that narrative they're trying to push. It's also kind of like scaring people. Oh, I can't start all the time I hear people say, you know what, I'm going to start something. I'm going to start a business ABL. I'm going to start my own thing. I'm going to start a YouTube channel, but I got to have this. I got to have that. All you got to have is what you already got. Start from somewhere and build up. That's what I would say. Okay. People that say they got to get everything, all kind of stuff to get their channel started. You got your phone right here in your hand. Your phone's right here. You got a tripod, talk right there. That's it. Anyway, this is her at the Detroit rally. Where we had that white dude for Harris at earlier. This is her at that same place with this nice little background. Okay, how's that? You like that? The graffiti kind of style?
We can make a difference because the power is with the people. God bless you. Thank you. I'll see you out there. Thank you all.
Got some Beyonce going on here. Not very energetic. Just kind of like, you know, putting the mic down. Like, all right, yeah, I'm out. Clap it up a little bit. Not very energetic. Oh, and yeah, somebody corrected me. Yeah, the tax credit, that's not even money in the bank. That's just, you could just reduce taxable income by that. That's not even cash. You're not getting cash with the $20,000 tax credit. But they also have the whole loan thing. Remember the loans? We're going to give out 1 million loans of 20 grand, maybe max. And with those, you got to pay it back if you meet certain, or you don't meet certain criteria, you got to pay it back. So in one instance, you're just getting, you're able to reduce your taxable income. And on the other instance, you get a loan that could be forgiven. And there's no outline of the criteria to get forgiven. You see how that works? Hey, check it out. Vote for me. I'll give out 1 million loans of 20 grand or so each. And you may have the loan forgiven if you meet certain criteria. What are the criteria? A, vote for me and you'll figure out. How about that? The criteria is you got to be named Elon Musk and you got to live on Mars. All right. So basically you're not getting your loan forgiven. It's going to be a loan you got to pay back with interest. And look, the federales, when they give you a loan, they will go through everything to get their money back because they got the power. Federal debt is what you can't really get out of. All right. Do you owe child support? That's a state debt. You can go to prison if you owe child support. Debtors' prisons are illegal or unconstitutional, but they're not illegal because you can go to prison for child support debt. They can take a tax returns. They can take your license away from you, suspend your license. They could do all of that for child support. And then student loans, they can garnish your wages, tax returns, bank accounts, all of that. So what do you think they'll be able to do when it comes to these 1 million quote unquote loans, forgivable or whatever, and you owe the money and you're not paying it? What's going to happen? You log into your Chase account one day and all your money is gone. What happened? Did Blockbuster Video hit my card? No. What happened was the government took their money back. They took their money back because they can. They have that power. Your credit cards don't have that power. Your regular loans don't have that power. But the government, they got that power. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, did you guys see this moment where Kamala was trying to take credit for this? I think it's a Hamas leader that got deleted in Gaza. Did you see this? Hold on, watch this. It's her Bin Laden moment. Like, what's going on here?
Today, Israel confirmed that Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, is dead, and justice has been served. And the United States, Israel, and the entire world are better off as a result. Sinwar was responsible for the killing of thousands of innocent people, including the victims of October 7 and hostages killed in Gaza. He had American blood on his hands. Today, I can only hope that the families of the victims of Hamas feel a sense and measure of relief. Sinwar was the mastermind of October 7, the deadliest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust. A terrorist attack that killed 1,200 innocent people and included horrific sexual violence and more than 250 hostages taken into Gaza, including 7 Americans, living and deceased, who remain in captivity.
Y'all help me out, please. Y'all give me some assistance. What's going on with this lady? Can she not read? Is that the problem? I think I said she couldn't read before. And when I say she can't read, I don't mean she's totally illiterate. Like, she doesn't know how to read words, but she can't read, meaning she's not a fluent reader. She does not have a lot of reading comprehension. So she's reading a sheet of paper and is having to keep looking down at it to remember what it said. It's like she might as well just go like this with her phone and read it like that. Just put the phone in front of her face and just read straight from the screen, like scrolling TikTok or something, you know, just do something like that. Also, if we got some big person overseas deleted and then she comes on the camera, I'm not feeling like assured or secure or anything like that. I'm not really feeling it. You got kind of a small stature. It's like when you're talking about those kind of announcements, you want to see this big block jaw general come out there and say it. We got him, something like that. I don't want to see her come out there. It's just not really it, man. That's like, how did cool kids say? It's giving high school principal at a pet rally. And then what they say? That's kind of what I get from Kamala right there. So yeah, shout out to my 40-year-old Gen Z impersonation. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Oh, and here's the one about Kamala talking about Kinko's. No, that was, this is an old video though. It's been kind of going around recently, but it was put out back in 2021. So it's an old video, but it ain't that old. This is during her time in the administration. This administration right now is the vice president. So this is about voter ID.
Is agreeing to voter ID one of those compromises that you'd support?
I don't think that we should underestimate what that could mean. Because in some people's mind, that means, well, you're going to have to Xerox or photocopy your ID to send it in to prove you are who you are. Well, there are a whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities, who don't, there's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near them. People have to understand that when we're talking about voter ID laws, be clear about who you have in mind and what would be required of them to prove who they are.
Of course, people have to prove who they are, but not in a way that makes it almost impossible for them to prove who they are.
Okay, so there we go. Rural America. You may not have access to a Kinko's, which has been gone for 16 years now. And Kinko's, I remember when Kinko's became FedEx office, because I used to be out there. If you know about Virginia, I used to be out there by Military Circle. At that, it was a Kinko's, then it became FedEx office. And they changed signage and everything. It's not Kinko's anymore. It's been gone for a long time. I remember the whole thing where FedEx bought Kinko's and they changed the name and the signage and all of that. I remember that very well. I used to go there for like emergency print jobs back when I was doing my graphic design thing. But anyway, this is what I'm talking about. They don't know anything. These politicos and your Brian Stelters and your Van Jones, they live in their little ivory tower. They live in their little communities and they don't go anywhere else. They don't experience anything else other than like a nice environment. A person like Kamala would be in Canada and California and Midwest in her childhood, living there, but she was always in a nice place with kind of an upper crust type of living. You're not used to being out here with us. So things that we know how to do, you have no idea. You don't know nothing about what we do because you live a whole different kind of lifestyle. Now, to the rural folks, to the hillbillies, to the rednecks, my brothers, for real, hillbillies, rednecks, my brothers, 1,000%. Shout out to y'all. Some of the nicest people you ever meet in your life will do anything for you. But if you cross a line and you want to get crazy, then they can go there too, which is totally fine with me. I'm cool, you cool, we cool. That's it. Anyway, is it hard for you guys to be able to show photo ID to go vote or to prove your identity to whoever needs to get that document? Is it that hard? Like, what's going on? Now, I've shown this before, this picture I'm going to show you. The whole thing with voter ID is so dumb because, hold on, I got a picture that I'm going to show that really kind of puts it in perspective. There's no excuse for people in America to have when it comes to voting. Oh, here's a picture. This is perfect. Okay, this is perfect. Now, matter of fact, I'm going to show both pictures here. So look, this Nigeria, West Africa, you're voting like this. Now, understand, Nigeria, like West Africa in general, it's hot. It's hot. Okay, it's just naturally hot. And they're outside waiting to vote. No indoor facility, outside to vote. And they got to show ID, okay? You ready? Watch this. ID. Nigerians. People living on $1 a day, stuff like this. Real poverty, like actual poverty. We have, the problem in America is not poverty necessarily, although the economic situation could be better. But our poverty is nowhere near real poverty, in my opinion. The problem we got in America is a high crime and how expensive it is and all that stuff, inflation. But if you're out there, sometimes you might not have food to eat, but you got an ID and you're able to go vote. If they can do that over there, then why can't we? What's the excuse? What's the excuse? There is no excuse. It's just some people want to have the voting thing open so they can just cheat or do whatever they want to do. But we're not going to let them because we got state run elections. And if we got any issues, we go to our state and get the issues corrected. The same way they did in Georgia after the 2020 kerfuffle. Shout out to Brian Kemp. And the same way they did here in Tennessee. We tightened our laws up and everything is good. We're kind of adapting to the times. What happened in 2020 was they had early voting. They were pulling every trick in the book in 2020 to win it on the Democratic side. And some things could have been on the borderline. And they figured, you know what, if it's kind of on the borderline, we can kind of get away with it. And maybe they'll try it later, but we're already going to win That was their focus. So now we've been able to catch up on our side. We got laws to protect elections. We got early voting. We're encouraging everybody to go out there and vote in person, get your ID, do all that good stuff. That's what we're encouraging. All right. So that's the way you go about it. You adapt, go to your local people, your state, and get your election secure. All right. That's how you do it. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. We got a whole lot more here. There's so much. I can't even get to everything. I cannot get to everything. But yeah, you can't get into the rally without an ID. Absolutely. All right. Where do I want to go? I think I want to go. Yeah, I want to go talk. I'm going to show AB, Antonio Brown. So Antonio Brown, former NFL football player. He played for the Steelers and the Raiders, I believe. Was he on the Bengals? No, he wasn't. He was on the. He got hit by Vontaze Burfict, and he was on the Bengals. That was a crazy hit. But here is Antonio Brown at the Trump rally.
And by the way, Tampon Tim Watts, he isn't a real football coach. He could never guard me. Guys, how is business? Business will be booming going against Tim Watts. Tampon Tim Watts. It'd be really booming going against him. And all
right, so shout out to him. Okay, AB, not necessarily the best, speaker, but that don't matter because he's not there for that. He's just there to support, say a few words, and participate in the movement. So we appreciate AB for joining, and we got more from AB. So he signed up to become a poll worker.
We're ready to make America great.
Can I take a picture of you for my son?
Volunteer. Now, I know that you all know.
So we getting everybody on the Trump train, everybody. And also with AB was Le'Veon Bell. So we getting some heavy hitters, man. Like who are the black dudes for Kamala? Who are the black? Did they do that? Did they do black dudes for Kamala? I know they did white dudes for Kamala. Was there a black dudes for Kamala? A black dudes for Kamala event would be Roland Martin twins. I'm talking about fat necks everywhere. That'd be a black dudes for Kamala. But black dudes for Trump, we got some real people, some real heavy hitters. So yeah, shout out AB, shout out to Le'Veon Bell, shout out to everybody out there supporting Trump. No shout out to Tampon Tim and his cronies. Okay, no shout out. And there's AB right there. He was on the Buccaneers last. Yeah, he kind of crashed out a little bit on the Bucs, but there might be a little bit of damage. You playing football, it's a violent sport. You can have a traumatic brain injury, but he was always a good football player. Always. It was just he had some issues. So yeah, shout out to AB for supporting. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. We got a rapper, Trick. Y'all might not know who that is, and it's fine. But he is very well known in Detroit, especially.
What up, though, Detroit? If y'all know about Trick, y'all know I'm about bringing it all to Detroit. So please welcome the 47th President of the United States as we make Detroit great again.
So there we go. Hey, shout out Trick. Shout out to everybody. AB, Le'Veon Bell, everyone. We're getting everybody on board. Oh, also, we got Tommy the Hitman Hearns. Y'all may know or may not know who he is. Legendary boxer. There's an episode of Martin where he was on there as a guest and played himself like as a boxer. And then Martin wound up getting beat up. And they have that iconic picture of him with his face beat up. That's from Tommy the Hitman Hearns, that episode. Hold on. If you guys have ever seen this particular picture, and it looks kind of crazy, but it's fake. It's not real. All right. So trigger warning, if you are kind of squeamish to fake, ain't no blood in that. It's just a bunch of lumps. All right. Remember this right here. If you ever seen this picture, that was from when he got beat up by Tommy Hearns on the show. All right. Back in the 90s. Now, here we have Tommy Hearns with Trump.
One of the greatest fighters of all time, and man, I'll tell you what, he was something special. And thank you, Tommy. And he looks great, doesn't he? He looks great.
I mean, who at this point, who's not supporting? We getting everybody. Where are the black dudes for Kamala? Where are they at? They over with Roland Martin and Puff Daddy. That's where they at. They're having a Diddy party with the baby oil. That's what they doing. They're not really doing nothing productive at all. All right. So yeah, shout out to everybody supporting Trump. Now we got some more here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, we got Trump. Hold on. Where I want to go next. I kind of want to go, Trump in the barbershop. New York City, Bronx, New York City. So here he is, Lawrence Jones, okay, in the barbershop right next to him. Everybody's chilling. This is a mostly Hispanic barbershop. I don't know if they're Puerto Rican, Dominican, or what. But yeah, everybody's chilling. No problems. Everybody's supporting Trump. He's there, wide open arms. Trump appeals to a lot of men and people, men, women, whatever, even some of the LGBTs who just support common sense practices in the country. But definitely he appeals to men, for sure. Kamala doesn't really appeal to anybody. She's trying to play the whole woman card, but that's not really working out too well. Her woman card then got deactivated. her woman card got overdrafted, ain't no money on it at all. All right. Now, here's testimony from somebody talking about being a Democrat registered, but voting for Trump every time.
I'm a registered Democrat. I voted for you the first time, voted for you the second time. Thank you. And I'm going to vote for you again. Are you better? There you go. So, I'm a registered Democrat.
Yeah, shout out to my man. Registered Democrat, but he's going to vote for Trump. And you're going to see a lot of that. A whole lot of that.
Nice to see you all.
Welcome. It's our pleasure.
How good are the barbers here?
Excellent.
Very, I can see they're good. They look nice soft floor. What's that all about?
That's all about the back.
It is just the back. Nice to see you all. Big hands, strong guy. Nice to see you. So you're the owner?
My son is the owner. He owns his father.
Oh, you did that very nice and easy, huh? Is he as good as you?
He's great.
He's better. Nice to see you. Thank you very much.
Man of the people. Man of the people. And always been that way. And you do that when it comes time to vote. You go out there, talk to people, earn their vote. You gotta earn their vote. The whole strategy from Barack Obama, I still can't get over that. He's done that before. It's kind of what he does. What they do with Obama is they use him to admonish black men. I guess they're thinking, okay, you guys don't have any dads, so what we're going to do is just kind of give you a tongue lashing. Man, I don't like that. We're fully grown people. We can vote. We don't need to have this LGBT type individual, especially trying to chastise us. Okay, I don't care if you're LGBT or A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and the rest of the alphabet. It doesn't really matter who you are, what you are. You're just a person like everybody else. I don't need to be admonished on TV by you. That's not really my thing. All right. But then we got Andrew Schultz, a comedian, and his shows got canceled after he had the Trump interview. And the Trump interview with Andrew Schultz was great, naturally funny. They had a good time. You're not going to find Kamala do anything like that, in my opinion.
We get an email 3.5 hours out, and 3.5 hours after the interview, they cancel shows. Read the exact email, because they're canceling my shows, but they're also begging Live Nation to not cancel future shows with them. Like they still want business, but they're like, just not this guy. Now, I don't know if it's a Trump interview, but the day before it came out, we were ready to go and we were going on sale this week. And 3.5 hours afterwards, we get this email. Yeah. First off, I want to thank you for thinking of BAM for Andrew Schultz's upcoming comedy show. We are always excited when promoters consider our space for their events. After some internal discussions with leadership, it was decided that BAM is not the right fit for this show at this time. That said, we really do appreciate you reaching out. We'd love to work with you in the future and for future events that might be a better match for BAM. And we get an email.
You already know what time it is. You already know what time it is. There's not even really nothing to discuss. Like, you had the place booked for months. You're going to do your special there. And y'all know the way comedy shows work. What happens is they'll do their act with the same jokes, or they'll kind of tweak their jokes. They'll kind of just be doing their act, and they'll try to figure out what works, what doesn't work, what's the best way to do it. You perfect your act, your set of jokes, you perfect your set, and then you go to a venue. Maybe you like the venue, like the location, whatever. You go there to do your show, but you're going to be taping because you're going to use this for your special. You've practiced. It's a whole big production to get to this point. So you're going to choose your venue pretty carefully. You're not going to just do it haphazardly, day of. You're going to, but then as soon as everything was fine with the venue until the interview with Trump came out, then, oh, no, we can't do it. So you already know what time it is. That was in Brooklyn. You already know how they look in the face. You already know how they look. Hey, the people who canceled him were probably them same 3 people I saw in the airport in New York many years back when I had on my MAGA hat. The troop, right? The strong revolutionary woman who stared me down for wearing the MAGA hat and didn't say a word, and her 2 male counterparts in the back trying to avoid eye contact. That's probably the people who canceled your shows, Andrew Schultz, and you know it by being in New York City. New York City, I hate. I couldn't live there because that kind of stuff. And you got these rodents all over the place. I'm good, man. If I see a rat scurry across the ground, I'm going to go ahead and just go back to my destination, and it's not going to be New York City. But anyway, so shout out to them. Let's keep on moving here. Where am I at? Where am I? Oh, this was funny. The names, Tampa, not even Tampa and Tim, but the other ones.
You think I'm the number one influence?
I think it's
So
Rogan. I think it's Rogan, you, and Kim Kardashian. Like, Kim Kardashian influences the shape of women's bodies and faces. Like, you see so many, they're literal shape of human beings.
Do they want to look like her?
They want to look like her. So once we start seeing dudes want to look like you.
Yeah.
And I see young Jack over there. I think he's trying to do it.
Yeah.
Your TikTok guy.
TikTok Jack.
TikTok Jack.
So tell me, you know, this is a little new world. I call him, his name is Jack. I call him TikTok Jack. I'm good with names, you know.
You are.
You're very good. You are. And Pocahontas. Yeah. We have names.
What about, and there was, Tampon Tim was good. What about,
the problem with Tampon Tim, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
In other words,
I prefer the Tampon Tim. Yeah, Tampon Tim, that's my favorite nickname. But I think it was we in the internet space who created Tampon Tim name.
Mouthful.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Tampon. And you can't stutter it through when you call it. No. It's really a lousy word to say.
Yeah.
But it's quite accurate, right? there are some, like Comrade Kamala. It's a little hard to say. She's comrade because she's obviously a communist. Yeah. She's horrible. Yeah. So I call her comrade.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. But when you put the names together, it's a little, you got to be able to no, you got to be able to put it out there. But we have a lot of good ones. A lot of them I can't go into with you because some of my best ones are from the Republican primaries.
Oh yeah.
And they're all friends of mine now.
Oh, and now you got to be nice.
Yeah, Lion Ted, Little Marco, those days during the primary were crazy. Yeah, I think from the primary, my favorite nickname had to have been Lion Ted. That was Lion Ted. He would say it so funny. It was hilarious. Little Marco was right behind that. Now, I'm not sure who else had a nickname. I can't remember all the nicknames, but those are my two favorite. And then the whole thing with him and Rosie O'Donnell was always funny as well. I like to see Trump and Rosie go on the podcast if they could keep it civil. I would like to see that. I like to see the different point of view. Yeah, that all my enemies see me coming. All my enemies, pew beat. When he said that, I thought about that Juvenile song immediately. Oh yeah, Jeb, low energy Jeb. Yeah, Jeb was terrible. My mom, well, your mom should be running. Jeb was awful. He was so bad. Sleepy Joe, yes. Pocahontas, oh yeah, for Elizabeth Warren. At this point, hey, Pocahontas was a great one. That's actually that might be number one. Pocahontas was so good. I don't even call her name anymore. I call her Pocahontas. Whenever I see your face, it's Pocahontas. That was crazy though. I mean, she earned that nickname. How you gonna talk about you're Indian and you have less than a fraction of a percent native in you? I'm talking about a trace at best. If it was alcohol, you wouldn't even be to the point of a mouthwash in your system. You understand? You wouldn't have no kind of trace of it in your system at all. That's how much she had. And then she tried to use that and say, oh, I am Indian. Ma'am, ma'am, please stop. I know for 100% certainty, because I seen a picture of my granddaddy. This dude looked like Joe Rogan in the face, okay? Not my granddaddy, but my 2 times great-grandfather on my mom's side. This dude looked like Joe Rogan, okay? Look, if they give me that picture, I might have to go take it or take a picture of it. But I'm going to show you this picture. You're going to see some dude looking like his last name is McGillicuddy or something like this, right? Now, although I have that in my background, can I say that I'm white? No. And it's okay. Ain't no point in lying. If you want to say, Miss Warren, that your great-great-great-great-great-grand, or who am I kidding? When your dad or somebody was Sacagawea, okay, well, that's fine, but can we see a picture? Can we see something other than just you? Anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Now, from the Flagrant podcast, again, they're going to ask about who's winning the election in their point of view.
Obviously, we got to react to the Trump interview. My reaction is Trump is winning by a landslide.
Okay, well,
it's not close anymore. Is that the energy y'all felt?
You're a prisoner of the moment. Yeah, you really are.
We know that about me.
Right.
We know that about me.
Before Trump came on, you're like, yeah, it could go either way. It's very close.
No, before he came on, I was like, he don't got a chance. I was like, he's coming on here. He got to be down bad. He got to be down. I mean, no.
Nah, but look, Andrew, like, I think maybe you're trying to be a little bit humble right here, but you got a really big platform. You're a famous person. So why wouldn't he come to your platform? You have a big audience, and it makes sense for him to go there and talk to your audience, talk to you guys. Why not?
I mean, no.
Somebody said a pretendian. That's crazy. Oh, the new nickname, Gavin Newsom, great nickname. And it was funny because the person, I forget where, it might have been Washington Compost, one of these papers, when he said Gavin Newsom, he tried to correct him. Newsom. No, I said it right. It's Newscum. You tried to correct me.
Oh, we're the best.
Yeah.
Down bad. And then after the interview, obviously we saw the reaction.
And you got 20 or 25 text messages, and you were like, this guy's winning.
Listen, it wasn't the 20 to 25 text messages. You know what it was? It was the looks on the street.
Oh, really?
The looks on the street I was getting. It was like, you know when like someone who's trying to sell you drugs, like they give you this like nod? Like a person you don't know, like a person on the street.
Yeah.
Right? They go, you would know.
I mean, look, everybody, we know kind of where we're going as a country. We know what's happening right now with this administration. It doesn't look good for the other side. It looks good for us. It looks great for us because at the end of the day, we're going to be the ones that succeed at the end. We're going to be the ones that win at the end. And I was thinking that we would be in this place right now, meaning, okay, you have 4 years of Biden, and people realize that they had it better under Trump, and now they regret the decision. And then when they go the other way. And here we are. Here we are. People that may have voted for Biden when he ran the first time, or when he ran, now regret the decision, and they don't want a Kamala. They don't want her, so they want to go somewhere else. They want to do something else. And that's their right, as they should. All right. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. If you like what you're hearing, so y'all know what to do. Let's go ahead and get to some super chats. And we're going to get to some calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Where are we at here? Shout out to, all right, I got a few. Thank you to Apple Bakar All Puff Daddy, who says, who you got for NBA Finals, Minnesota Lynx or New York Liberty? Now, I ain't going to lie to you, Apu. I do not watch WNBA basketball at all. Okay, I don't watch TV, really, but at least with NBA basketball, I watch some of the highlights, right? That's my thing. That's what I do now. I'm at that stage now where all I do with basketball games is watch highlights. But I was a big basketball fan coming up. I still love basketball, but it's gotten so weird. I watch the highlights. And now the highlight game is being messed up because they showing Bronny. I ain't trying to see LeBron James' scrub son play basketball. Yes, I said scrub. I appreciate that he's able to play ball in the league with his son. That's a beautiful accomplishment. The problem is he's not a good basketball player in the NBA sense. Better than me? Of course. Of course. Anybody that can go out there and play on the NBA court is better than I ever would be. That's not even the point. The point is, are you NBA level good? You could be a good basketball player. I've seen plenty of guys go to the rec center and tear it up, looking like Michael Jordan out there. But will they be that same way on the NBA basketball court? Listen, you know how big these guys in the NBA are? I'm 6'3". I look small. I had friends in high school that played ball. These guys, I was a short guy. My one homie is 6'6", other guy 6'8". These guys got handle. They can jump 45-inch vertical, 6'6", can shoot from anywhere. And that's your regular, like, European, not even a European, pardon me. That's your regular American player going overseas and playing like a year in China or something like that. That's that guy who's 6'6", can jump out the gym. You try to go against that guy, you're going to get your boot smoked. Bronny, on the other hand, ain't that. Ain't that, man. He's not that. But I do appreciate how LeBron was able to play ball with his son on the same court. But I don't like the way it happened. He shouldn't have really been there. Okay, you got Michael Jordan, his boys, they didn't really go out and play like that. And they didn't go to the league, rightfully so. Yeah, and it does seem rigged as well. I saw that comment. It does seem rigged as well. Yes, that is correct. I think it was a comment said on one of these podcasts, they said that you got to win by 15 to win by 1, meaning if a particular matchup is not what the league wants, like in the playoff scenario, and it's down to a game 7, and it could go one way, which would be great for ratings, or the other way, which is bad for ratings, they're going to make everything happen in a certain way to give the advantage to the team that they want to win. So you got to win by 15 to win by 1. You see how that works? So then it just kind of becomes fake and it loses meaning. And it's like WWE at that point. Shout out to Apple again, who says, opinion on MSDNC's Donnie Deutsch. He's a tool. I've not seen him in a long time, actually. I didn't know he was still around. Yeah, shout out to him. I thought he might have been, gone up yonder. I don't know where I thought he was. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says, the whole point of education today is indoctrination. Stupid people make stupid citizens. That is correct. Shout out to you. Thank you for your super chat. Thank you to Laura Catherine for your super chat with the thumbs up emoji. Thank you to Apple again, who says, pet peeve about other drivers. Do I get road rage? Did you already, am I tripping? Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm good. You asked me this before, but I'm gonna answer it again. I don't like people that don't know how to drive in certain situations. I don't get road rage because I don't want no smoke. Because you try to get road rage, you might run into that guy that decides to match your road rage and pull a pistol out, and I'm not trying to get into a shootout on I-75. I'm good. I am good. Hey, man, you want to be all on my high parts on the road and swerve and do something crazy? I'm going to get out the way. If I'm in the left lane and you get up on me real close, I'm going to get out. You got it, man. Don't worry about it. I ain't going to try to brake check you. Nope. Because I'm not trying to get the gun to pull out and we get into some type of high action, high chase movie scene where you shooting at my vehicle. I'm good, man. Apple again says favorite potato dish: mash, salad, baked, boiled, fry. Let's do baked potato loaded. That's what I always get if I have the option. Baked potato loaded. Yep, that's my one big back pleasure at a restaurant. All that good stuff in baked potato. That is Apple again who says, you see women take down Greek. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you to Kai's Parchment who says, Kamala's ranting reminds me of Farrakhan. Oh, shout out to Farrakhan. Thank you to Depper. Hold on. 1 second. Let me just rehydrate and refocus. All right. Back in the game. Thank you to Dapper Dave 2021 who says, hi, ABL. They say more black men are breaking for Trump than before, which is likely, in your opinion, black men voting for Trump or not voting at all. Oh, which one is more likely? The voting for Trump or not voting for all? I think what's going to happen is we're going to see a lot more black men vote for Trump. Actually, the last election, there was an increase in black men voting for Trump. And I think back then the stat was 30% of black men under 30 vote for Trump. And now those guys have gotten older. Okay. Now those have they've gotten older and they've been able to influence people. And we're getting new guys coming into the fold. And we have a bad presidency from Biden. All those things combined will, in my opinion, equal up to a much higher percentage of black men voting for Trump. There will also be those who sit out and do nothing. I think black men sitting out and doing nothing is almost, not quite, almost as good as voting for Trump. Because either way, you're not voting for Kamala. And like I said, the reason why they rolled out Barack Obama is to increase the black male voter turnout. So people that just sit at the house and don't really want to vote, he wants to get them out there. Like a sense of duty. The men who are going to vote for Trump regardless, you can't really do nothing for them. They're going to do what they're going to do regardless. I'm not listening to Barack Obama tell me nothing. Okay? If he wants to give fashion advice on cross-dressers, okay, let me stop. Anyway, family show. Shout out to Runoon2 who says, please vote on paper ballots. Funny stuff already going on with the Dominion machines and the number of registered voters. Yeah, wherever you can vote the best way possible. In person. Thank you to Kai's Proximus who says, Trump bash gruesome on how we treated Elon on Patrick Bet David. Shout out to Trump on the PBD show. Thank you to Smooth Artist who says, I love Japan so much. We would get Trump elected. Right on. Thank you to Laura Catherine that says, true story. My 93-year-old Japanese grandma voted for Trump last week. Hey, shout out to Mama. Shout out to Mama. Hey, doing the right thing. 100%. They get to Smooth Artist who says, let's go. They got Undertaker. They get to Take Heed to the Message who says, sir, I love your content. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Most certainly appreciate you. They get to Chris Rich for the hype emoji. They get to Smooth Artist who says, LOL, young ABL. Yeah, me and Kane hanging out at Politicon. They get to ABO for becoming a member and also for the super chat saying these liberals are in Africa saying black Americans are lazy, don't trust them. Thank you to Mitch Connor 91 who says black men need a popular. Thank you to 6man_ who says, ABL, thank you for all you do, sir. If Trump wins, do you see the left accepting the election results? Or do you think they will claim it was stolen? Also, I'm hoping to escape to New York for Tennessee next year. God bless. Shout out to you, boss. Now, they may not directly try to protest it, but they're going to do it indirectly for sure. Thank you to Past 2020 who says, can't stop laughing. ABL recommends TDS hotline to call your crazy uncle. Hey, man, for real. Get the TDS hotline cracking. Your crazy uncle is on Facebook having the meltdown every day about Trump. Get this man some help. Thank you to Life with Sean who says, what happened to your uncle ABL channel? I'm back on that. I had to take a little break to refocus, but I'm coming back to Uncle ABL. I already got one topic that I want to discuss for Monday. Already got it ready. I'm going to come back to Uncle ABL. I promise. Okay. But I wanted to kind of refocus my energy and get the topics that really matter. Get the really, really good topics. So yes, Uncle ABL will return. And when I didn't want to just be like sporadically uploading. My plan was when I return to Uncle ABL, let's have it be consistent every day, putting out content, at least one video a day for 5 days in the week, Monday through Friday. That's my goal. If I can't do that, I don't really want to start and then stop and start and stop. Thank you to Los Federales who says, she always sounds like she's 3 beers deep. 3 liquor drinks deep. Shout out to Los Federales who says Kamala speaks like she's running for school council. Yeah, like grade school, elementary school council. Thank you to Hail Mary who says ABL during the Brett Baer interview, Kamala said we could read her 80-page plan on her website. What about all those poor black illiterate people who don't know what a computer is? Exactly. Thank you to Kai Sparchmus who says cartels given the green light to delete the Border Patrol in Texas. Not good at all. Thank you to Shelly who says, can you say I digress? I miss it. Shout out to you, Shelly. I appreciate you. Thank you to Rebel Without a Reason who says the people who support Kamala are the same people who push the shots. Absolutely. Thank you to Ryan Henderson who says the real men are supporting Trump. Thank you to Noah Garcia for becoming a member or being a member and saying, shout out to all my day one ninjas. We're not going to say that. And that was actual ninja emoji, the Japanese guy, not nothing else, who got ABL beyond 1 million subs without no baby oil. Yeah, no baby oil involved with the 1 million subs. And I guess one day they'll give me a plaque. I got to talk to my channel specialist. They just gave me one recently. A channel specialist from YouTube. I'm going to speak to them about my plaque. They may want to talk about, oh, you could do this for your channel. They don't help. What they could do is give me my plaque. And once I get it, we're going to do live unboxing. And that's going to be a definite good addition. Shout out to John Sandabria who says, to all the old men shaking fists, absolutely. Old men shakes fist at cloud. That's us right now. And thank you to Twisted Clown who says, an extremity is the answer to the question, what hangs? Okay, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to get weird with it here, sir. We're not going to, come on, man. We got little kids watching. I can't even really do that. All right, we're not going to do that. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And thank you to Slenderella Charming who says, Trump, TRUMP with the heart emojis. I appreciate you for that, Slenderella Charming. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's get to some calls, pardon me. 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. There's also an email for Skype in the description. If it doesn't work right, please don't blame me, blame the white man, because you know it ain't my fault. Yeah, I don't receive the blame for that. All right. Shout out to you at 953 who says, hello, sir. My bro told me about you. I'm glad that he did. Hey, shout out to you and your bro. I appreciate y'all for joining. I really, really do. All righty. Let me get to my sound. Who am I speaking to? You're on the line, 617. Hello, sir. My bro told me about you. Hello, 617.
How you doing?
It's all good. What's going on?
This is Shamar. We had spoke a couple weeks ago. I had sent my book out on the right side of history, brother. I was just checking to see if you received it.
I don't know. I have to go down to my UPS box. It's kind of far, so I'm gonna check my box. I did get something hold on. I did get something that came in this week, but I haven't been to the box to check it. So I'm gonna go check it out top of the week.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good, man. It highlights Trump, and I'm a black conservative. My family and I, we definitely don't see eye to eye from Massachusetts, but I moved to Florida a couple of years ago and wrote a book just explain the difference between Republicans and Democrats. And yeah, man, I wanted to get your opinion. So I was just calling in to see if you received it.
Right on, man. So give me the book title one more time for the people so they can hear it.
Yeah, it's called On the Right Side of History by, it's going to say by S. Miller. It's on Amazon. And my name is Shamar Miller.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. God bless.
God bless.
A nice one.
All right, so my man, On the Right Side of History by Shamar Miller, S. Miller on Amazon. When I get it, my man, I'm going to put it on we're going to do on YouTube, on the live stream. We're going to show it, and I'm going to give the link once I have it. All right, so shout out to you, boss. I appreciate you. And let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's go 208. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, it's Tom. How are you tonight?
Oh, well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Excellent show as usual. Really enjoyed it. I just wanted to point out something that you touched on that not a lot of people have talked about, but I've been thinking it for quite some time. So at that Catholic dinner, you made the comment that they're great actors. And I picked up on that by watching that. That was very evident, you know, when they're not at an event like that. Schumer hates Trump with a passion. Trump's got nothing nice to say about him. But I tell you, I think they're better actors than the actors we have in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, the whole thing with politicians, they are pretty much linked in with the media. And media, politicians, actors, they're all acting, but in different roles.
Yes. And this, you know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but just that right there made all kinds of things run through my head. I mean, to the point to where, you know, is this actually just one big screenplay and everybody knows the narrative? Or, you know, do we really have anybody representing us? I mean, I know Trump is going to. God knows he's the only one that can save what they've done, but it's just, I don't know. It gave me a really weird feeling.
Right, I understand.
But again, just a great show. Thanks for taking the call, and keep up the good work, my brother.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the call. Yeah, Hollywood actors, politicians in D.C., same thing. Okay, I guess I was a little bit late for that one. Thought I had the call. But yeah, it's all the same. And I've been noticing that for a while. And they all kind of hang together. It's all the same. This is why the Obamas went into producing movies right after they left the White House. It's because they're actors. All right, let's keep on rocking. Let's go 715 here online. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. My name is Harley.
You said what now?
I said, hi, ABL. My name's Harley.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right, yeah. So I kind of wanted to bring up the attention, the mail-in ballots. I work at the post office, and I kind of wanted to just tell you what I'm seeing. For example, when I return from my mail route, there's, you know, someone usually in the office, let's say late at night, or there's nobody because they're still carrying mail, and sometimes management has to carry mail. So even just last night, I come back in, I have a few mail-in ballots in my outgoing mail tub, and where we put outgoing mail, there's still several mail-in ballots right there. So if I were someone with ill intent, let's say, there's nobody around to see me, you know, handle these ballots. Or let's say someone else in the post office. And the doors are not always secure, meaning you can get in. So I don't think the mail-in ballots are good at all. Like, we all know this. So if you were to vote by mail, this is what I recommend. You fill it out, obviously yourself, get it signed and everything. Then you bring the ballot to your city hall, and at least it'll be there already. At least you know that. Now, is everyone at the city hall trustworthy, perfect? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, at the post office, it wouldn't be hard for someone to, let's say, grab them, open them, who knows what.
Now, are there no cameras in the post office?
No, there is not. There usually is in the lobby, but when you're on the work floor, it's prohibited to have cameras where we have the mail-in packages. Like, I'm not allowed to take photos or video, but I could, but we're not allowed to.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. So, and honestly, in my post office has 0 cameras. We have none outside for the parking lot, none in the lobby, and none on the work floor where it's a restricted area, for employees only. So no cameras, entire office.
That's weird. I mean, is there a particular, like, I don't really understand that. You would think that they would secure a federal facility like that, because isn't that federal post office?
Correct. Yeah, we're federal employees, federal post office, government building. And honestly, like, for our loading dock, that's where we walk in for as like an employee to then like push our carts in for mail or push them out, vice versa. And a lot of the time, those doors are just left wide open because management isn't properly closing them, or carriers. So, like I said, it's not hard to get in most cases.
Wow.
Depending what office you go to, but mine in particular is very unsecure. Just saying.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so I just figured I'd call, and we got the election coming near, and thought I'd raise it to the attention of mail-in ballots. I highly recommend, if you're going to vote absentee, bring it to your city hall and drop it off yourself. From my experience seeing it as carriers, I wouldn't trust it in the post office fully.
Right on.
Well, I think that's about all I kind of have here. Unless you got any questions for me regarding post office and mail, I mean, I could tell you anything you want to ask that I know of. I mean, I'm a long-term carrier, over 10 years of experience. I've been doing it since I've been 18 years old.
Well, I don't have anything for you right now, but I think you pretty much outlined an issue that we need to be aware about. That's why I always tell people, it's like, hey, just go vote in person. That's what I'm going to do. I think that's what y'all should do. You have early voting in person or day of. That's what I would do.
Yeah, bingo. I love it.
All right, man. Well, thank you for your call.
I'm going to do. Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Bye.
So my man, you heard him right there, and I kind of cut him off. He was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go vote in person. ID, all of that. You could vote early in person, depending upon where you are, I suppose. And you can vote, of course, on the day of in person. However you go about it, make sure you vote in person. 310, you don't know who I'm speaking to.
This is Ron from Georgia, ABL. How you doing, sir?
Oh, well, man. How about yourself?
Doing better this week. I tell you, man, things are looking up. The way I see things myself personally, and, I'm praying and still staying focused, still praying and staying focused. I love to see, I loved it when I was looking at the Red Bear interview. He was trying to stick it to her, but yet she was trying to, filibuster her way and try to eat up time. I think it's ironic that, you got a 5 o'clock meeting, and yet you're going to show up 5:15, and they got 20 minutes to try to get this thing in to turn around, to make it a turnaround and everything. And then you want to go ahead and, instead of answering the question, want to go ahead and try to get your point. But it's Trump, it's Trump, and not getting to the point, and you try to keep her on the point. But like I said, she wouldn't stay on point. But that's her. She got nothing but lettuce in her mouth. Got nothing to say. And looking at the, my wife and I watched the Simon dinner. Great. It was great. Gafleck and Trump was hilarious. And like you said, the Kamala thing was totally cringe. You know, I mean, she better that she would have been better off than not even sending anything in. It would have been better. At least they wouldn't have to be talking about it. You know, outside the fact that she wasn't there. You know, but and then I'm hearing reports that her staff, that she went ahead and cussed out her staff and everything the day after, you know, because she wasn't there. Hey, she made the choice, you know, and now she felt that she should have been there. You know, I should have been there, even though I wouldn't have been able to, you know, have no pathos to give the jokes, you know, because like I said, she has no personality, no genuine personality, you know. But and then one last thing that I saw just recently about that Michigan rally. I don't know if you caught this, where someone was being escorted out of the rally when they were talking about you know, the abortion thing, you know, what Trump's going to do and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, it was ushering somebody out, and somebody said, you know, praise the Lord, praise Jesus the Lord. And she said, you're at the wrong place. You're at the wrong place for this. Your place is down the street. You know, and my mouth almost dropped. My mouth is almost dropped when she said that. And I said, this should be enough for anybody that's a lover of God and Jesus and everything like that. She just said, what? And then you got the people behind her, you know, cheering. So you know where they're at. Like I said, all these demon worshipers and everything, you know. Oh, man, it's just crazy on what her heart really is saying. You know, because from the abundance of your heart, your mouth will speak. And that was in her heart, and her mouth spoke it. And that was a total off-the-cuff moment. That's the real her. That's the real her. And when she's shouting in her rallies and everything like that, being all screeching at you and trying to sound strong and everything, that's the real her. You know, that's the real her. And people need to recognize that. And the thing about it is that she's panicking. That's the whole thing. All this action that she's doing today is a panic freeze because they know what time it is. Time is coming. People, take heart. ABL, take heart, man. You're doing an awesome job, you know, getting the information out and staying on point, you know, encouraging folks, you know, even with your messages and everything. And we in the chat and we who are standing faithful, you know, need to be encouraged because, you know what, God got this, and the faithful is going to continue to move forward. We're moving forward. Trump is high, you know, he's high right now because he sees, you know, some light at the end of the tunnel. We got, you know, what we got, 17 more days. Hey, and then my phone quit blowing up on donations and everything like that. They don't keep hitting me up for my money, you know, so things are looking up, you know, things are going to calm down. But you know what? It's going to be good. So, you know what? We just continue to pray, fast, believe God, stay encouraged, get people out the boat early. I was glad to hear that you said you're going to vote early. That's a good thing. We're voting as a family ourselves. You know, we're all going together, and we're going to go ahead and push Trump over the line. You know, and I like to hear the news that my daughter was telling about. Some of the people on their jobs are not going to vote. I said, that's good. I said, that's good that they don't vote. At least they're watching out our vote. You know what I said? So there we go. But anyway, beloved, I love you, man. You just keep on doing what you do. We appreciate you, all of us, my family, my wife and I, and we sitting in our big screen TV, our media room watching you full size. Well, we love you, brother. You just take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you for the call, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right, shout out to my man. Great call, as always. All right, shout out to Ryan. Now, I got a super chat here. Bobcat NYC, who says, I want to thank you. 4 years ago, I called in on my 36-year anniversary, and you wished us happy anniversary. My wife passed Sunday night, but she always smiled when she heard me listening to your show. And, man, I'm so sorry to hear that, Bob. Shout out to Pete, Bob. I appreciate y'all for always watching. Appreciate you for always being here and supporting, man. 36 years, man. It's a long time. That's like I just turned 40. So 36 years, long time, man. So you had a good life together, long time together. May she rest in peace, man. Hopefully, Bob, you be able to, move forward and just be okay. That's all I could really hope for, man. 36 years is a long time, man. So RIP to her, and prayers out to you. Prayers out to all your whole family out there, Bob. All right, shout out to my main man, Bob. And let's go to 631. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, it's Mary. How are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
I'm doing good. I just want to say Trump is the GOAT.
Right on.
He's just truly the greatest of all time. And I think we are so blessed to be watching this in history and seeing all this unfold and just the legacy this guy's going to leave behind. And I pray that the history books get it right and how they're going to tell this man's story of what he did for us and this country. And I pray that it's going to be accurate for generations to come. I'm a Christian. Jesus is my Lord and Savior, but Trump, he is the GOAT. He is just leader of all time. I can't say enough good things about him. Just how he commands a room. When he walks in any room, he's the king. It's just, no matter where he is. When he was at that benefit, for the Catholic charities, just how he's on that stage, telling jokes, being himself, so authentic. And I tell you, when he wins, and he's going to win big, it's going to be a celebration like this country hasn't seen since we won World War II. I'm saying it. That's how it's going to be. I think we're just going to come undone, because that's how I feel. We have been suffering as a country for 4 years, and now we are at the edge of our seats. We are grasping now at it. We know the reign is over. Trump is the GOAT. Long live the USA. We win. And that's how God's story always ends. God ends in victory, right? When does God ever lose? Never. The devil overplayed his hand like he always does. And we're watching it. And hallelujah, praise Jesus. Thank you, God. We are seeing this. We are here in this point in history to watch what's happening. And I'm so grateful. So fear nothing, friends. Just hang on tight and get ready to celebrate like we've never celebrated since 1776. Right, ABL?
Right on.
That's all I got to say. Love you and keep preaching the truth, my friend.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Have a good night.
All right. Great call. Shout out to the callers. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go 605. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. How you doing? It's been a long time. It's Whitney from South Dakota.
All
I know,
righty.
you probably don't remember me.
What's going on?
Hey, you've been watching Candace Owens stuff all about Kamala Harris, right? And all her lineage and all that?
Yeah, I've had kind of an eye on it. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. ABL, that's a whole other level.
Yeah, it's deep. It's really deep. It looks like Kamala made up a story about her heritage to appeal to people, and she didn't anticipate Candace Owens being on the trail.
Right. Well, it's kind of like with Obama, don't you think? Because, okay, like way back when, when people were like, Obama, wasn't from here, this, that, and the third. You remember that?
Yeah.
Like, I was really young. I was young then. So I kind of thought that was like a little, I don't know, I just wasn't there yet. Politically, I was young. I was kind of a Democrat, you know what I mean? So I wasn't really into that. But now, like, looking into all this Kamala stuff, don't you think that could actually be kind of, like, true? Like, if they're, like, willing to, like, these people are willing to like lie so much to get to where they are. You know what I mean? I really feel like it's possible now. Don't you think?
Well, yeah, of course. And you know, the funny part about the whole Obama, the Obama birtherism thing, that was started by Hillary Clinton's people. I remember watching that because I'm 24 years old in 2008. I watched the entire election. I followed it very closely because at the time I'm a liberal. I'm voting for Obama because he's black or whatever, right? I'm 24 years old at the time.
Right.
And
Right.
I remember.
And I was 16.
Oh, wow.
So, see, I was like, yeah. But anyways, okay, sorry. Continue.
So I remember being upset that the Hillary Clinton camp put the whole birther thing out there. And what happened was Trump was talking about it years later, like it might have been 2012. So what the media did was say that Trump started it when in reality it was Hillary Clinton's people, not Trump.
See, and Hillary's people, they always do that shady stuff, dude. And they always they say that they say someone's doing something, and then really in reality they're doing what they're saying that they do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, they are just shady, just so shady. The Clintons. I don't want to say too much, ABL. I want you to live. But but geez, Hillary Clinton, she's an evil person. I really believe that. All them people they're all evil. Just evil, and they're just consumed in darkness. Seriously. That's me saying it nicely because I'm on your show and I don't want to get too tinfoil hat on you or anything, but
right now, I understand.
But I just really think that Kamala stuff, that's like real low, you know, and black people should be really upset because that's it's just messed up. You can't just lie about your race. I don't know. You know what I mean? I just don't think you should do that. That's just not, it's very distasteful. You're a liar, first off. You're just lying. They're lying.
Yeah, for sure.
And then that newest episode of Candace, this on Friday, she photoshopped pictures. She made up a grandma. Like, that's just low, ABL. She made up her grandma.
That is really crazy. That's totally nuts. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, why lie about where you came from? You know, you should never do that. Never forget where you came from. Anyways, I'll let you go. I'm sure you got lots of calls. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. I watch your show here and there. And I just, I wish you well, and I pray for you often.
Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, great call. Shout out to the caller. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 360. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Kathy from Bullhead City, Arizona. How are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Hanging in there. See, I'm pretty hopeful about this whole thing. I was very depressed in 2020. I voted, and my son had flown down to Bullhead from Washington State to drive back with me to visit my daughter and him. He works for Microsoft. And throughout every state we went through, we saw nothing but Trump flags. Every small town had American flags. And then throughout the night, because we drove straight through, we started hearing some odd things when Trump's votes started going down. And we were bummed out. We were completely depressed. So when I got home, and a lot of people disagreed with me, I said, I'm not flying my American flag until these people are out of office. So 2 days ago, I went on Amazon and bought a 20-foot flag pole because I do have a place to put a flagpole in my yard, and an Arizona flag along with the U.S. flag. And I have a place out front to hang my flag. So I'm very hopeful that we're going to win.
I'm right there with you, and I see all the signs point to us winning. I think one of the things that happened last time was that the Democrats exploited all types of rules in the books to be able to ballot harvest. It did all kind of stuff to just maximize the votes for them, and we've been able to we've been able to kind of catch up to it and match that. You got guys like Scott Pressler out there getting people registered to vote. We're voting early. Yeah. We got the laws tightened up.
Exactly.
So I think we're better prepared on the back end with the technical things to actually make what's supposed to happen.
Exactly. And I hope I'm just kind of hesitant. It's like, oh, I don't want to put it up right away because I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all.
Right. I understand.
They're sneaky. They are absolutely sneaky. And so I don't want to say crossing my fingers. Everything points in our direction right now.
Yes.
Everything. And I'm just hopeful. I think we Americans have suffered too much with this regime that, I mean, look how many people are coming to our side. We got RFK Jr. We have Tulsi Gabbard. We have a lot of former Democrats on our side. So I think things are going to look up. It's probably going to take a year to turn things around, bring down the gas prices. Because transportation is the most important thing. If they're being charged too much to transport, it's going to drive prices up. So once we get that oil flowing again, get our refineries going again, I think prices are going to come down.
Absolutely.
And I especially hope my electric bill goes down. I am paying through the summer in Arizona, I used to pay about $250 a month. This year it was over $500 a month.
Wow.
And I'm on Social Security. And it's been ridiculous. But I'm an American. I find ways around it and hang in there.
Right on. But yeah, those power bills, the things that Americans are paying for nowadays, they definitely got to come down because that's just way too much.
Yeah, everything went up around here. As water, trash, sewer, everything. But I'm hopeful. I don't think that we're going to I don't think grocery bills are going to come down. I think the prices are going to at least stay the same and not continue to climb once Trump gets back into office.
Right.
But I think we're going to end up having more money because of it, because of his tax cuts.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's very important. Okay, well, I'll let you go so you can get back to other callers. And it's nice talking to you.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
You have a good evening. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Online speaker to 617.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's happening?
I always listening to one of your callers, and I remember I told you about the ignorance is really the issue here. It's just not, most Americans they're not involved in politics. They don't care about politics. Maybe they are fanatics of someone. Between both parties too. I mean, some liberals, they think in the liberal team, the Republicans, they believe in the Republican team, so it becomes a team thing, and instead to actual politics. It was mentioned about the oil industry, the gas prices will go down, refineries start. If Trump wins, Trump has nothing to do with production of refinery. It has nothing to production with drilling. It doesn't have anything to do with that. That's an industry that all will determine the investors, the demand, and the supply. So if they want to cut supply and the demand is high, the price per barrel will go up. But that's for another conversation. That's just that's the world that we live in now. And I know that you put a video up there where Bill Clinton was talking and concerning about vetting, the migrant that killed that lady.
Yeah.
They killed I think it was a student. And it was mentioned the word, how to, it were properly vetting. We cannot vet these people in most cases. We cannot vet people that come from other countries, that come from those countries that are hostile to the United States, or we don't have diplomatic relationships. We cannot vet them. So what Clinton said was wrong. Cannot vetting according. Huh?
Well, how about not letting them in the country illegally?
It's more complicated than you think. I mean, I see your point, but it's more complicated than you think.
Okay.
So let's say when Cubans decided to come here because they wanted to leave Fidel Castro regime, we should have never let them in.
No, nobody. Come in legally.
Right, so that's okay. Okay, I understand. So we should never have any policy when it comes to asylum at all.
Legal. It's a process. Legal. But that's not even
legal.
no. But see, wait. See,
legal.
no. You're not gonna do that because what you're doing right now is misdirecting. You see, the case of the guy who killed Laken Riley, this guy was not an asylum seeker. This guy was a straight up illegal alien. He came to the country illegally, and he was allowed to remain into the interior of the country. He was not an asylum seeker. He was straight up illegal alien. He got caught crossing.
Do you know that wasn't
Excuse me,
seeker?
Huh?
How do you know they were not an asylum seeker?
Because I read about it. Like official news sources, they said, excuse me, authorities knew that he was in the country illegally, but they had to let him in. Like one of the things that they do at the border, as you may or may not know, is if they don't have enough space in the detention center, they just let you in the country and into the interior. They give you a court date to come back in however many years. And in the meanwhile, you just there. So they knew about this guy, and they probably already knew about his background and everything else. They processed him.
How are they going to know about his background? How are they going to know his background?
Because you might have documentation with you. You might have a fingerprint, and they can bring you through a system.
Okay, but I'm going to stop you right there. What I just said in the beginning of the conversation, if Venezuela broke diplomatic relationship with the U.S. in 2000, I think 5 or 6. There's no relationship between Venezuela and the U.S. So the Venezuela won't share any data of any criminal activity that happened in the country with the Interpol. You know, the Interpol is the one who collects all the information.
Okay, but look, it doesn't really matter because we could still find out about you without having Venezuela cooperate. So that doesn't even matter.
How are you going to find out? How are you going to find out?
That's their business. I don't know all the workings of the industry.
That's what the State
Excuse me. But look, at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter if you're right or I'm right. You could be right, but so what? At the end of the day, he came to the okay, great. You're right. You're right. You know everything. You're the smartest guy in the world. Dude, does it make you feel good? You a big man now? Now I'm gonna just keep on talking. The whole point is this: he came to the country illegally. He's not an asylum seeker. He's not a migrant worker on a visa, nothing. He came illegally, straight up. He shouldn't have been here, period. That's the point. Go ahead.
So most Venezuelans that came through the border that broke the law, crossing the border illegally, and they seek asylum, why in the world the country will give them temporary assistance, TPA, temporary protection assistance, to stay in the United States legally?
I don't know nothing about that. All I know is what I'm talking about right now. Excuse me. All I'm talking about right now is the case of the person who killed Laken. Excuse me. What we're talking about right now is not like, just policy. We're talking about this guy who came to the country illegally. Excuse me. I'm not done. He came to the country illegally. You trying to talk about asylum, things that don't relate to this. Excuse me. Quiet, sir. You are bringing up things that don't apply to this case to misdirect. Talk about the case. If you're going to bring it up, because you brought it up, you said Bill Clinton, you said the guy who killed Laken Riley. The reality is that this guy was straight up illegal, nothing else, point blank, period.
Okay, so as I'm saying, the ignorance is the problem.
The what? But look though, am I right or wrong about what I'm saying? Was he illegal? Yes or no? Was he illegal?
He came illegally. But
all right then. So how am I ignorant? You say that I'm right. So what am I ignorant about? You're talking about things that are not relevant to the case. I'm right at the end of the day. The case that you brought up, you just admitted that I'm right on. So what are we talking about? How are you gonna make an argument? How do you make an argument out of an agreement? That's ridiculous. But I guess that's what you do, huh?
I agree with you. I not agree with you because you see you. When you go and see the judge, that's what they determine to see if your asylum claim is gonna be.
But what are you talking about? Look. I gotta ask you a question. Why are you bringing up asylum? For what's the purpose of bringing up asylum right now when the guy was not an asylum seeker?
Well, we don't know it was asylum.
Yes, we do. We got it. Look, like after this call, I'm gonna bring up the actual information straight from the government. He was not an asylum seeker. You want to bet money on it? You want to put some money on it?
You have to see the judge to determine the asylum.
But he was not an asylum seeker. He was illegal.
Oh my God! So when the Cubans come here, that they break
look. At the end of the day, this guy was illegal. If you come to the country illegally, excuse me. If you come to the country illegally, you're here illegally. I don't care nothing about nothing. I don't care if you come from Cuba, Haiti. Look, I don't care if you come from Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, China, Europe, Africa. I don't care. Canada. I don't care where you came from. If you're here illegally, you're here illegally. So you're kind of like asking me the same thing over and over again. So you have anything else? If not, I'll get to the next call.
Okay, so we cannot vet these people. That's the reality. That's really
okay.
the
Next thing.
problem
Next.
That's what I'm trying.
All right. Have a nice night. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 215. If you don't lie, who am I speaking to? 215. Hello. Hello. All right, come on, man. Come on, 215. You got to be, you know what I mean, quick to the trigger. 818, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 818, hello.
Oh, hi. ABL, hi. How you doing? I'm calling about the other guy that just called about the asylum.
Yes. Go ahead.
So,
all right. Hold on. Caller, Turner. Hold on. Caller, can you hear me?
1 second. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Turn the off in the background for me, please.
Yeah. I just turned the TV off. Sorry about that.
All right. Go ahead.
So the guy that just called about the asylum, here's the problem. Is that the Democrats have created a situation where we no longer have the luxury to take in asylum seekers.
Okay. So is it because you got so many people coming across the border trying to come in illegally? Like, why do you think that is?
Because they've let it completely out of control. So now, unfortunately, the world is going to have to pay for that, because we used to have a situation where we could allow asylum seekers because the influx of people was manageable. Now it's unmanageable. So now there's no way we can let them in anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we basically now have to put a pause, a moratorium on it until we can resolve the situation, until Trump can stop people from pouring in. Then we can start opening up the gates again to allow legitimate asylum seekers into the country. Because what's happened is that it's become a joke. People are calling themselves asylum seekers when they're really not. Regardless of whether they're poor and messed up situations or whatever it is, unfortunately, we cannot have it anymore, period. Until Trump is able to come in, we can close the gates, we can put in good laws, then we can start thinking about it again. And again, this is a problem that the Democrats created, because basically they let the gates of hell open, and now it's completely out of control, and now we don't know the good people from the bad people. And it's a serious problem. You know?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. And the second thing I want to say is this. What I would love to know is, what is the conservative elite going to do if Trump does not win? Are we just going to sit there and take it? Now, I'm not advocating for violence at all. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that. But what's going to happen? What are they going to do? Because we all know the left is more than willing to burn half the country to the ground, right? So what are the conservatives going to do? Because historically, they've just basically taken it in the rear end, to be honest, and they have not done anything. And it needs to end. We either need to work with Texas and create a two-state solution, or we need to do something. We can't just sit here and let this madness go on for decades or whatever. It's ridiculous. It has to end. Something has to be done. So I just hope that if, God forbid, Trump loses, that people man up or whatever and actually do something and not let this crazy maniac run the country for the next potentially 8 years.
Yeah, I think the main thing we got to do is just focus on the individual states, make sure all our laws are together, all the laws that protect the election, and we got to go out there and vote. That's all we can really do at this point. And then see what the other side is doing. See kind of like how they are operating, how they're moving, and just counter and just really be in this game and don't take things for granted. That's what I would say.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but it's just like, it just, to me, I think that's all we've been doing.
But look, hold on. Before you continue, hold on, caller. Before you continue, what would you want to do? Like, what do you have in mind?
I think that legislatively, Texas is probably the only state that has the ability to actually succeed from the union. Now, again, this is an unfortunate situation, but what I'm saying is that if we lose, I think that the rational states should try to band together with Texas to try to create some kind of situation where potentially, yeah, I mean, look, you look at Israel and Palestine, they're never gonna agree, right? So I think that we may unfortunately have reached a point where the two sides are not going to agree because you have such polarization.
So what do you want to have happen?
I think we have to contemplate succeeding from the union. I think that we have to band with Texas, that get together with Texas, because Texas has the ability to succeed. It's probably the only state that can actually do this. And we need to potentially work with Texas and create a two-state solution, because otherwise it's going to be mayhem. How are we going to live like this?
Well, like I said, the main thing we got to do is focus on our states and voting first. Trying to secede from the union, much easier said than done. The last time that happened, you know what happened as a result. So you got to be careful about that kind of thing.
No, yeah, I totally get it. And again, I am most certainly not going to advocating for violence. I'm just saying that maybe that's not the answer. Maybe succeeding them, but there has to be something.
Well, like I say, we got to just go about the first way first and take it from there, man. Take baby steps, man. But thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's try to go with 215. All right, 215, you there, boss?
Hey, ABL, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that earlier, ABL. I should have been listening out for you when you picked up. But anyway, yeah. So I saw Kane and The Undertaker basically, they just endorsed Donald Trump basically, and that was kind of cool to see that video. Like a lot of celebrities are just vouching for Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's definitely always a good thing to see something like that going on. People that are really kind of coming around to Trump. It's always a good thing.
Yeah, and then I've noticed like since Kamala Harris started her campaign, the enthusiasm is just slowly dying out. Now she's got Obama trying to campaign for her. It's just like there's just the enthusiasm is not. They're trying to manufacture that enthusiasm.
Yeah, they're trying to get that going, but people just not really feeling it. They're not really into it.
Yeah, because even CNN is starting to report that Kamala Harris is not polling too well because she can't be like Barack Obama back in 2008. That's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and at one point they tried to make it seem like, Obama in 2008, like she might be like Obama. I said, no, there's no way. Even CNN can't even lie about it that she can't poll like Obama back in 2008 because Obama, there was this first black president. Oh yeah, first female president. Yeah, with Hillary Clinton. Yeah, she had the popular vote, but her Kamala Harris is just I don't know because they said she's worse than Joe Biden when he ran in 2020.
Yeah, she's really bad. She's awful.
It's just getting bad. I was like, and I'm gonna tell you about the Israel, like when Israel finally got the Hamas, the one terrorist who was part of who led the, sorry, I can get my words together, who led the attack on October 7th when they finally killed him. I forgot his name. His name starts with a Y, but
I think Yahya or something.
Surprised when I saw it on. Yeah, Yahya. when I saw it on YouTube, I was just shocked. I'm shocked they actually got away with putting that image on YouTube. I'm surprised YouTube didn't try to like take the video down. But then again, it was like Fox News and the IDF page because the Israel Defense Force, of course, they got their own YouTube page. But when they put the image up there, of course they blurred like the gushy part. But just the fact that they showed that dead body on YouTube like that, because most YouTubers now some YouTubers are like trying to bleep out the word shoot or pedophile. They saying they can't say that word or their channels are going to get demonetized. But
If hold on, but listen, hold on. I'm gonna address the whole thing. But if you know that you can't say certain words on YouTube, why would you say it right now on YouTube?
Yeah,
it's all good though. But back to the whole thing about
yeah, my fault. Sorry for that.
no, it's all good. But the whole thing about why they were able to show the dead body, you could kind of do stuff like that when it's for the benefit of the state, because in their mind that's like propaganda, so they'll allow it. But in a general sense, you can't do stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I was kind of shocked when they were able to show that. So I was like, okay. I was like, but I guess because they're probably not making money off YouTube, so that's not going to matter anyway. So, and like you said, they're like for the state, so.
Yeah, but you can just do stuff like that when it's for propaganda purposes. They'll let you do whatever you want.
Oh, gotcha. And last thing before I go, ABL, honestly, I'm gonna just start making videos because, like you said, because I was trying to wait until I get a video camera.
Nah.
So I was like, let me just start with the cell phone. Let me just start somewhere.
Just start, man, because everybody got to start somewhere. You don't got to try to start. People try to start. People just really what they do. They try to buy things to make it easier to get a shortcut. But ain't no shortcut. Just start with whatever you have. Make videos and get better and better and invest in yourself and just grow that way. That's what I would do.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, got it. All right, then. Thank you, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, you have a good night.
All right, now. And shout out to the caller. And my man is not a troll. He's good people. Just made a quick mistake. That's all. Not a troll at all. Good caller. And I think that'll be a wrap for me. I got to get some sleep here in a little bit. And if you couldn't get on tonight, I'm sorry. Don't blame me. Blame the white man. You know it ain't my fault, as always. But I'll be back live again. Same bat time, same bat place on, what's the day? So on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be back. And I'm here every weekday for the most part, putting out pre-recorded content, good videos all over the YouTubes. I'm on Facebook. Unfortunately, still Facebook, but not too much longer. Instagram, TikTok, I'm everywhere. Y'all check me out. Go to the website, follow all the links. If you got to send me anything in the email or the snail mail, go to the website, follow the links. Everything will be right there for you. But again, that'll be a wrap for me. So shout out to everybody that's watching, retweeting, super chatting. Whatever you do, I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods, keeping the trolls in check. I really couldn't do the show without y'all. But I think I got everything. Let me just make sure. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. All righty. I got Slenderella Charming. Thank you, Slenderella. I got CB Dizzle, who says, it's hard to live without Uncle ABL. Okay, I'm coming back. I promise. I promise. Y'all hold me accountable. You guys will be my accountability partners to make sure that I bring Uncle ABL back and be consistent. All right. I gotta get right back on it. And I will. Thank you to Salty C for becoming a member of the ABL squad. Thank you to Smooth Artist, who says, let's vote to deport Hyven. Excuse me. Thank you to Michael Guest, who says, just look for the Harris wall signs on yards. And thank those individuals for voting for the bad economy, migrants, and the high crime in the country. Right on. Absolutely. All right. That'll be a wrap for me. Again, I'll be back on Wednesday with pre-recorded content. Uncle ABL, I put it on the shelf. I'm coming right back. And it'd be great because I'll be a 40-year-old, officially 40-year-old unk giving that unk advice. Good advice. I am not Andrew Tate. I am not any of these guys. I'm going to give you real unk advice. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. But yeah, so shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all as always. Thank you for the great show. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out and peace.